Sugar Cube White House is finished.
Yeah! Everybody step back so we can get a good look at it.
Boy, this is neat.
I'll bet this is the only replica of the White House in the world made entirely of sugar cubes.
It looks just like the real one.
It sure does. Look, there's Caroline sliding down the banister.
Oh, I forgot something.
What?
Men, attention. At ease.
May I ask a question?
Yes, Cub Simmons?
When we go to Washington this weekend, will we get to see the real White House?
Yeah, the White House, Washington Monument, Congress.
Oh, we'll see the Pentagon and the Lincoln Memorial. We're going to see everything.
Mrs. Carmichael?
Yes, Cub Bagley?
Will we get to meet the president?
Oh, I'm afraid not. He's too busy.
Oh, rat! I'd like to ask you a question.
Yes, Cub Carmichael?
Why are we standing around making small talk when there's refreshments in the kitchen?
Oh, I forgot all about it. Help yourselves, fellas. They're on the kitchen
Yeah,
table.
fellas, don't fight over the cookies. Don't fight over the cookies now. There's plenty of them. Oh, Lucy, I gotta hand it to you. Choosing the United States government as our Cub project was really inspired.
Yeah, but I agree with Sherman.
What about?
About not meeting the president. Rats.
Oh, for heaven's sake, you can't ask to see the President of the United States just because you happen to want to say hello. You've got to have a good reason.
Hey, I know. People are always presenting him with things, aren't they?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm sure Jackie could find room on the mantle for a sugar cube White House.
Oh, now, Lucy.
Well, one good thing, Viv, I'm pretty sure they won't have one just like it.
I'll bet. What are you going to do?
I'm going to call the White House.
I can only hope that you mean the White House cafeteria.
Operator, would you please get me the White House? No, I don't mean the White House cafeteria. No, I mean the White House in Washington, D.C. Yes, I'll speak to anyone. My number is Klondike 54320. They're ringing.
This is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard of in my whole life.
Hello? Is this the White House? Viv, it's really the White House.
No kidding.
This is Mrs. Lucy Carmichael. Could I speak to someone in the president's office, please? Thank you. They're ringing his office. Hello? This is Mrs. Lucy Carmichael, den mother of Cub Scout Den 8 in Danfield, New York. Yes, we're all going to be in Washington this weekend, and we were wondering if we could stop in and give the president a little gift. Well, the boys made it themselves. It's a replica of the White House made entirely out of sugar cubes. That's right. Oh, fine. Thank you, Mr. President. He's checking his appointments. Mr. President. Viv, it was him.
Are you sure?
Who else in the White House would say replica?
Hello? Hello, Mr. President. This is Vivian Bagley, co-den mother of Den 8. What time would you like to see us Saturday morning, sir? Your Honor?
President.
Mr. President? At 8 o'clock. Oh, we'll be there. Oh, thank you so much. Goodbye.
Viv, we're going to meet the president.
I'll never wash this phone again.
Hey, Sherman, is this our car? No, we're on the next car. Okay, come on, guys. Sherman, do we really get to sleep on the train? Sure, eat dinner and breakfast, too. I must say, being a Cub Scout is sure enriching my life.
Be careful, Viv. Don't drop it. I haven't dropped it yet, and you backed me through 6 Pullman cars.
Oh, here's our compartment right here. Can you open the door?
Here, thank you. Let's get this thing in here. Got it?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Careful now. Okay.
All right, push the door back. Lucy!
What?
It won't go through the door.
Oh, of course it will. Push the door open.
I'm telling you, it won't go through.
Pardon us, please.
Oh, raise it up
Just a minute,
Viv.
sir.
Way up, Viv. Sorry.
What do we do?
Go Go on. Try to get through. Turn it on the side. Turn it way over.
Oh, no, Lucy, it'll break off the portico.
For heaven's sake.
Oh, this is a fine mess. The only reason we spent our good money on a compartment was so we'd have a place to put this thing.
All aboard!
Oh, come on, Viv. We gotta get it in there.
I told you we should have built the Washington Monument.
Pardon me.
Oh, yes. Oh, raise it up. Way up there.
What are we playing, ladies? London Bridge is falling down.
Conductor, just a moment, please. I'm very happy you came along. We are unable to get this into our compartment, so could you please tell me where to store it?
I'm afraid there's no room.
Well, what about the baggage car?
Oh, I'm sorry. Items for the baggage car must be at the station 30 minutes before boarding. I'm afraid you'll have to take it off the train.
Oh, no, sir. We can't do that. We're going to give this to the president. You see, I'm a Cub mother, and our Cub Scouts made this. This is a replica of the White House.
You're no kidding. I thought it was Buckingham Palace.
Sir, please, can't we leave it here in the aisle?
No, it's against regulations.
Well, how about over there near the door? There's lots of room there.
Yeah, our regulations cover every little nook and cranny. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy.
Well,
Lucy, what are we going to do with it?
we're going to put it down right over there.
Oh, no, now, Lucy, he said that was against regulations.
Vivian, people who have an appointment with the president do not have to worry about the petty problems of minor officials. Now, come on. Well, right over here.
Yeah.
Now, at the back of that, right up here.
Now, careful. Don't drop.
Boy, that's heavy. Hang on. Hang on, I'll shift my legs. Oh, good, we're going. We're going. Well, Washington, here we come.
I'm starved. Let's go find the boys and have an early dinner.
Okay, I want that. Go with all tickets.
I think so.
Tell the boys.
What are we going to tell the president?
You don't suppose that he'll settle for a replica of Admiral Byrd's headquarters in South Pole?
I don't think so.
Well, Viv, there's just one thing we gotta do.
What's that?
It's tricky. But between now and 8 o'clock in the morning, we've got to rebuild the White House.
We got to do something trickier than that.
What's trickier than that?
Between now and 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, we've got to get hold of 3,000 sugar cubes.
Oh, well, I'll just go up and ask for them in the dining car.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they keep 3,000 surplus sugar cubes on hand for desperate den mothers.
Well, I'll get all they can spare. Oh, wait a minute. Give me the timetable.
Oh, what do you want with this?
Well, the train stops a few places, and I'll get off and buy all the sugar I can. Yeah, we stop in Greenview in 15 minutes.
Oh, Lucy, forget it. You'll never be able to get that much sugar.
Viv, if we don't get the sugar and don't build the White House, we don't get to meet the president.
I'll go talk to the dining car steward. You get ready to get off in Greenview.
All right.
The tacker's right here. I'll saddle her up.
Good, fine. I'll have a cup of coffee.
Easy, Annabelle.
Oh, thank you. Pardon me, sir.
Yes, what can I do for you, ma'am?
Would you sell me some sugar?
Well, I'm sorry, lady. I'm not in the grocery business.
Oh, but I really need the sugar. You see, I'm a den mother, and my Cub Scouts built a replica of the White House, and we're taking it to President Kennedy, and it got broken, and we have to build it again.
I'm sorry, lady.
But please, this is terribly important. Give me one good reason why you won't help me.
I'm a Republican.
But, sir, can't you do it for the Cub Scouts? They're bipartisan.
Look, lady, I have no idea how many people are going to come in here tonight, and I gotta have all the sugar I got on hand, that's all.
Could I have a cup of coffee?
Yeah, sure. There you are, ma'am.
Thank you.
10 cents, please.
A dime here someplace.
Thank
There you
you.
are. There was a draft there. I'm susceptible. Pardon me, but could I bother you for the sugar?
Oh, certainly.
Thank you.
No.
My, do you like your coffee that sweet?
This is for my horse.
Oh, does your horse like his coffee that sweet? Thank you. Thank you. This is certainly a nice little stopover.
Thank you.
Out of that lady's handbag. Here.
There it is. The horse is eating the sugar right out of your purse.
Well, now, maybe she's not looking for sugar. She might be looking for something else, you know.
Like what?
Well, like my billfold. Oh, no, I left $5 on the counter.
Lady, I don't want your money. All I want is my sugar.
My train!
Stop! I want my sugar back!
Mrs. Bagley, I can't hold this train any longer. I'll be late getting into Washington.
Oh, but she said she'd meet us here in Scottville, and she seemed to have a very fast horse.
I hope you won't think I'm an old grouch, but I'm going to start my train.
Oh, please don't do that. This is the last stop before Washington, D.C. You can't go without her.
Oh, can't I? All aboard!
Where have you been?
Over every fence, wall, and hedge between Greenville and Scottville.
What happened?
Annabelle turned out to be a jumper. Anytime she saw anything a foot off the ground, it was up and over. Up and over. Sometimes when she couldn't find anything to jump, we went up and over.
Oh, Lucy.
What?
Did you get the sugar?
I did. Viv, I want to tell you, you haven't lived until you've jumped over a high fence with 15 pounds of sugar slapping you in the ribs.
Oh, dear. I hope you didn't break any of the cubes.
The cubes are fine. I just hope my ribs are all right.
Lucy,
What?
what'd you do with Annabelle?
I tied her to a parking meter and left my name and address and told them that I'd send the money for whatever it cost to get her home. Oh, no!
What's the matter?
I forgot to put money in the parking meter. Annabelle's overparked. Oh.
Lucy,
What?
I sure hate to ask you this after all you've been through, but did you remember to buy glue?
Glue!
Yeah, we have to have something to stick the sugar cubes together with.
You mean we did all that up and over for nothing?
Now, Lucy, you got all the sugar. All I have to think of is something else that'll make them stick together, isn't it?
What'll make them stick together?
I know.
What?
I got just the thing.
What do you got?
I brought all this bubble gum along in case the boys wanted it. We could chew this up and stick them together.
Bubble gum? We'll never be able to put that thing together.
Stop chewing.
Hey, Jerry, look at the little rocking chair. Yeah, whose chair was that, mister?
That chair belonged to President Lincoln's son, Tad, when he was just about your age.
No kidding.
Oh, excuse me, ladies.
Oh, Viv, I'm so nervous. I don't know if I can remember my presentation speech.
Maybe you better go over it again, huh?
Yeah, I better. Let's see. On behalf of the Cub Scouts of Danfield, New York, Pack 57,
57.
Den 8, we'd like to present this model White House to you, the president of, what's he the president of?
President of the United States.
President of the United States. Yes. Oh, I'm so nervous.
Pardon me, ladies. The president will see you now. Oh, excuse me. All right, boys, get into a column of twos here. We're all going in right that way.
Little gentleman, act nice. Now, let's be,
Hold it.
we'll be
March.
proud of you now.
March.
Now, march. That's it.
Be polite.
All right, Lucy, let's go.
Oh, Viv.
What's the matter?
My legs are all wobbly.
Oh, Lucy, don't drop the White House.
Pardon me, ladies. The president's waiting.
Oh, yes. Lucy?
Please. What? I gotta sit down.
Oh, you have to sit down? Just a minute, dear. Just a minute. How's that? Better?
I've never been so nervous in my life.
Are you all right now?
Yeah, we better get in
All
there.
right, let's go.
Not keep the president waiting.
Come on.
Viv, I'm stuck.
Oh, no, Lucy, you're not stuck.
Yes. Help me out of this.
Oh, good heavens.
Pull it off.
Oh, Lucy.
Pull harder.
I can't pull any harder. I'll break it and it's priceless.
We gotta get it off, Viv.
Oh, dear.
What are we gonna do? We can't keep the president waiting?
Well, I guess I'll just have to make the presentation without you.
Oh, no, you don't. I'm not gonna miss out on meeting the president. Oh, Viv. Oh, Viv, please.
How do you do, Mr. President?
Come in, Miss Carmichael. Don't be bashful. I'm happy to see that I'm not the only person who is attached to a rocking chair.
What do you got there? This is the new night school catalog from Danfield High. There are some wonderful courses for us here, Viv.
Oh, I didn't know you were interested in going. For us?
Yes, I've decided we're in an awful rut, so I got this catalog.
What do you mean we're in an awful rut?
Well, now, let's face it, Viv. Our idea of an intellectual conversation is to sit around and discuss whether Marshall Dillon will ever marry Kitty.
Now, what's wrong with that?
Oh, for heaven's sake, Viv. You were born with a brain. It was meant to be used.
Not necessarily. I was born with an appendix, and I had that taken out.
Look, I'm serious. We should keep our minds alert. There's no need to stop thinking just because we've been out of school for a couple of years.
A couple of years? Your mind may be alert, but your memory's gone Betty by.
Well, I find this pretty exciting. I just can't decide which course to take. Let's see, there's conversational French, and there's a United States foreign policy in the Middle East.
Oh, they both sound fascinating.
You're all wet. Oh, yeah? Yeah, you've lost your marbles.
Oh, they're arguing over marbles again.
Now, fellas, I thought we agreed that you weren't going to play marbles for keeps.
We weren't arguing about marbles.
Well, then what were you arguing about?
The amount of liquid fuel required to get a space capsule into orbit. I say liquid fuel used in space capsules is measured in tons.
And I say if it's liquid fuel, it's got to be measured in gallons.
Oh. I see.
Well, Mom, am I right?
Well, now, Sherman, you might be right. If those space things use as much gas as my car does, it could be measured in tons.
It's gallons, isn't it, Mom?
Well, let's see now. If we could figure out how many gallons there are in a ton, let's see now. There are 4 quarts to a gallon. And, let's see now. A ton has, we all know that a pint's a pound the world around.
Holy cow! I told you our mothers wouldn't know.
Well, where's the try?
Where's that catalog?
Yeah. Whoa. Wonder if they've got anything called Cape Canaveral at a glance.
Welcome to Introduction to Chemistry and Physics. I am Professor Adrian Vance. Now, the first few weeks of our class will be devoted to chemistry. Now, you will notice about the class many pieces of equipment which undoubtedly you're not familiar with. However, as we go... Oh, I see we have 2 new arrivals.
Yes. I'm Vivian Bagley.
And I'm Lucy Carmichael.
I'm so glad you were able to make our little class.
Well, thank you. I'm sorry we were late, but I forgot that my daughter, Chris, had a drum majorette rehearsal, and then I had to get a sitter for the 2 boys. And I want to tell you,
Mrs.
trying to talk those 2 kids into having a
Mrs. Carmichael, please. There's a class in session.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did we miss very much?
No, just my opening remarks.
Oh.
But with the class's indulgence, we'll start all over again.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
That's very kind of you.
Welcome to Introduction to Chemistry and Physics. I am Professor Adrian Vance. Now, the first few weeks of this class will be devoted to chemistry. Now, the person sitting next to you will be your lab partner. Now, about this equipment which you see about you, naturally, it is all unfamiliar to you now, but as time goes... Mrs. Carmichael.
Yes?
Is there some problem?
Oh, I was just asking this gentleman to change places with me so Viv and I could be partners.
See, we live in the same house, and then we can do our homework together.
Would you?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. Thank you.
And now, may I go on?
Oh, yes. Go right
thank
ahead.
you.
Thank you very much.
see,
You don't mind, do you?
I hope you will bring to this class a great deal of curiosity. Yes, curiosity has led to many discoveries in the past and will lead to many discoveries in the future. Now, there are many things still to be conquered by science. Can you name any of them? Oh, yes?
How about a cure for the common cold?
Good.
Boy, she sure needs one, doesn't she? I don't think it'll happen in time to save her, though.
Mr. Vance,
Yes.
no one knows for sure if there's life on the other planets.
That's right.
Yeah, huh?
Yes.
No one has discovered the secret of eternal youth.
For heaven's sake.
Well, they haven't.
Oh, that's pretty silly.
No, come on, boss. That's not scoff. After all, a scientist must keep an open mind, for everything is possible in science.
You see?
Now, this class may not make scientists of all of you, but it will make you aware of the world around you. Now, class, in the next few weeks, each one of you will have his own special project. And now, class, will you step down here, please? Gather around me. I'd like to explain some of this equipment to you. Now, this is a Bunsen burner.
Oh, that's what that thingamajig is. See, Viv? That's a Bunsen burner. I heard it.
The handle which controls the gas is very sensitive, so regulate it with care. All right, now, everybody, back to your work tables, You 2 young ladies will work right here.
Oh, we got our own work table.
Yeah. Now, I'll explain what you're supposed to do. You ready? Everyone, light his Bunsen burner.
Oh, you strike the match, Viv. Okay.
Carefully.
My, that is sensitive. I'm sorry.
You weren't listening.
Well, I was listening. I think you used too big a match, Viv. Why'd you...
All right, class, let's have your attention. Now, you will notice many acids around here. Now, we will be handling a great many of these acids. Now, if you'll step this way, please. I am required by the Board of Education to point this shower out to you. Should you by any chance get any of these acids on you, simply step into this shower and pull this cord. And I might add, in all the time I've been teaching this school, we've never had occasion to use it.
I wonder if it still works.
Oh, yes, it works.
Yeah, it works. Us scientists have to learn to be on time.
Oh, I'm sorry I'm late. What's all this?
We started our special projects tonight.
Oh,
Well, do you want to guess what project I'm working on?
Splitting the atom.
No, somebody already did that. I don't want to be a copycat.
Oh.
I'm going to see if I can find the secret of eternal youth. Now, what do you think of that?
Well, now I think you've cracked your beaker.
Professor Vance himself said nothing was impossible.
Okay, you've got your project. Now, what am I going to do?
Well, if you can't think of anything, why don't you help me try to find the secret of eternal youth?
Why not? What have I got to lose?
Maybe 10 years. Well, now let's get to work. We don't want to waste any time. Write this down. Get your pad and pencil. You should keep that with you all the time, Viv.
All right.
It's what a good assistant would do. All right, now write it down. C9H804.
C9H804.
Yeah. I wonder if I should use 1 cc or 2 cc's.
Well, now it all depends on how many people you're planning to serve.
Will you be serious? Write down 1 cc.
1 cc.
Wonder if Madame Curie had this much trouble with her assistant.
Well, what special project do we have here?
I am trying to discover the secret of eternal youth.
Oh, that's very nice, very nice. I'm glad to hear the secret of what?
The secret of eternal youth. Remember, we talked about it in class, and you said it was possible?
I did?
Well, you said anything was possible.
Oh, yeah, well, yes, well, so it is.
Of course, you know what formula we're using here.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, I understand this formula. I've never seen it mixed this way.
Well, of course, I haven't had any results yet, but I just started.
Oh.
Drop around later and we'll give you a cup of youth.
I think I know what I need here. One of the acid salts. Get me some sodium bisulfate solution over there.
Okay. Hey, this is an awful lot of sodium whatchamacallit. It's gonna be kind of hard to pour, Lucy.
Oh, for heaven's sake, never bring it in an open beaker. What a dumb thing to do. That container has too big a mouth.
That makes 2 of you.
Oh, boy, the kind of lab help you get these days. Here, put 5 cc's in that, and hurry up.
Oh, Lucy, I'm spilling an awful lot of it. I spilled it all. What are you trying to do?
I was saving you. You spilled acid all over yourself.
Oh, what's going on here?
You spilled acid all over yourself.
What acid was it?
One of the deadly acid salts, sodium bisulfate.
An acid salt, Mrs. Carmichael, is not an acid. It's a salt.
Oh. It's only water, you know, H2O. Stand right here, honey, and dry yourself off in front of our Bunsen burner. Well, Viv, I think we're finally getting someplace.
I think so, too. You may not have found the fountain of youth, but you have invented a glass jungle, Jim.
All right, just take your notes. Listen, I'm going to need some more glass tubing. Go get it, please.
There is no more gas tubing. You've used it all, unless you'd like for me to empty the thermometer.
Liv, I need glass tubing. I don't care where you get it. I don't care how you get it, but get it.
Yes, madame. Mr. Vance, could I see you for a minute?
Yes.
Would you please do me a big favor?
Yes, of course.
Would you get our mad scientist friend to drop this ridiculous experiment?
Well, I admit that Mrs. Carmichael is a little unorthodox, but I feel a laboratory is a place where you find things out for yourself.
Well, I found something out for myself. Since she's become a mad genius, she's absolutely impossible to live with.
Oh, Professor Vance, would you do me a favor and look at my experiment? It seems to be doing an awful lot of bubbling.
Bubbling?
Yeah, but don't worry, nothing will spill. I put corks in all the tubes.
Corks in the tubes?
Yeah.
Corks in the tubes! Corks in the tubes!
Oh, honestly, I guess there's a shortage of corks, too. You know, it's really appalling the way we scientists have to put up with lack of supplies. Honestly. What happened?
Oh, Mr. Vance! Mr. Vance! Are you all right? Oh, what happened? Mr. Vance? Huh? What happened?
Are you all right?
I'm all right.
Now remember, keep an open mind.
Open mind?
An open mind.
Open mind?
Yes.
Open mind?
I think I better go look at my experiment and see if I can salvage anything from the wreck. I may have to start all over again.
Start all over again?
That's right.
You know, perhaps I should discourage her while Danfield High is still in one piece.
You better discourage her before she blows up the whole town.
Hey, I got an idea.
Is that stuff she's brewing in there fit to drink?
Why, yes. According to her notes, it's nothing but a mild sedative.
A mild sedative. That's perfect. She thinks that she's going to be able to change people with it. But we're going to change her.
Change her?
Uh-huh. We'll get her to drink some of that formula. And while she's asleep, you get me a little makeup from the drama department. Huh? How about that?
Professor Vance, I was able to salvage this much from the wreckage. This is a great day for mankind.
Mrs. Carmichael, the time has come to test your youth formula.
Oh, really? How wonderful. Where'll we get a monkey?
Well, I was thinking of a human being.
Oh, well, shouldn't we test it on a monkey first?
If there's one thing the world doesn't need, it's younger monkeys.
You're so right, Mrs. Banker.
Well, I wonder who we can get to volunteer.
Maybe you could get one of your students to do it, Mr. Vance, huh?
Well, that's a good idea. Which one?
How about you?
Me?
Yes, what better person to check out this marvelous formula than its creator?
Well, I don't know. What was wrong with younger monkeys?
Mrs. Carmichael, a scientist must have faith in his work.
Oh, I have faith.
All right, then, Lucy, bottoms up.
You want me to drink it now?
Uh-huh.
Well,
Is there any reason why you shouldn't?
Well, for one thing, I'm not very thirsty.
You see, she doesn't have any faith in her own experiment.
Oh, is that so?
Uh-huh.
Now I think you'd better go to my office, lie down, relax.
Why? I feel fine.
Oh, but a complete relaxation is absolutely essential in an experiment of this nature.
Oh?
Yes, later we'll come in and check the results.
Yeah. Oh. Oh. All right.
Are you all right?
You know this was very tasty?
Our Sleeping Beauty is finished. Shall we wake her up?
Why not?
Thanks for the makeup kit. Lucy! Oh, Lucy!
What?
It's time to wake up and see if your formula worked.
It's time for... Oh, my formula. Oh. How do I look?
Lucy, it's absolutely indescribable.
It's incredible.
Really? Is it really? You know, my face feels so funny.
Now, don't touch. Isn't that right, Mr. Vance?
Oh, absolutely.
Why not?
Well, you've got to let your body become accustomed to the new molecular structure.
Oh, you know, the texture of my hair seems to be changed.
It's the wonders of chemistry.
Oh, and it's brown. Oh, now that proves I'm younger. I haven't had brown hair since I was 16.
That's just how you look. Sweet 16.
Really? Oh, well, I can't wait to see myself. Where's a mirror?
Well, the nearest one is in the girls' lounge right down the hall.
Oh, thank you. Hi, Georgie. I know what you're thinking. You didn't know Chris Carmichael had a sister. Well, she hasn't. I'm her mother.
Oh, her mother. That's nice.
Delafox. It's me, Lucy.
Lucy who?
Lucy Carmichael.
What happened to you?
It's a little potion I whipped up. And as soon as I put it on the market, you'll be able to look like this, too. How about that? Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
So long.
Well, she should be around here somewhere.
Lucy!
Biff.
Huh?
Biff.
Huh?
Biff.
Huh? Lucy?
Are you alone?
Yes, there's just the two of us.
This is awful. Why didn't you tell me what I look like?
I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
We wanted to spare you.
Something must have gone wrong with my formula.
There, even scientists make mistakes. After all, you're only human.
I'm not too sure.
Oh, now, Lucy, it's not just a total flop. Now, you did prove that people's looks can be changed, and you did invent a new formula.
Yeah, and I know what to call it, instant ugly.
With your knowledge of chemistry.
I'm through with chemistry. I'm through with everything. I'll never step outside my house again.
Not even on Halloween?
loose. I'm disintegrating.
It's a putty nose.
And your hair is a wig.
I did it all while you were asleep.
You scared me to death. Why did you do a thing like that?
You had it coming to you. You were getting absolutely impossible to live with.
Well, I guess I did get a little carried away.
But I did admire your enthusiasm.
Yeah, but my formula was a big flop.
Well, perhaps chemistry isn't your best subject. In a few weeks, we'll be switching to physics.
Physics. Physics. Now, that's right up my alley. Especially in nuclear physics.
Oh,
I've always wanted to be a nuclear physicist. Just give me a slide rule, a handful of uranium, and point me to the moon. That's what I've always
This is the last one. Is Chrissy going to take all of these clothes just for 1 week at Sandy Cove?
That's right. Here's her list. 6 pairs of capris, 4 sweaters, 2 pairs of Bermuda shorts, 3 sweatshirts, 1 pair of jeans, a jacket, 4 pairs of sneakers, 2 shifts, 5 bathing suits, and if for some strange reason she should want to look like a girl, 1 dress.
Has she got luggage enough for all these clothes?
Oh, sure. Maybe I'll have to carry my things in a paper bag.
You can borrow my suitcase.
Too late. Chris beat me to it.
Oh, dear. Lucy, I certainly admire your nerve chaperoning a club of teenage girls for a whole week.
Well, I think it'd kind of be fun. Are you sure you don't want to change your mind and come along?
No, thanks. I wouldn't fit in. I'm too old to be a teenager and too young to die.
Oh, creep. Debbie Westcott's father is the creepiest.
Chris, I hardly think it proper for you to call your school principal a creep.
But he won't let Debbie go with us to Sandy Cove. And if Debbie Westcott can't go, the other girls' parents won't let them go either. So it looks like the whole trip is off.
Well, did you tell Mr. Westcott that I was going with you?
Yes, but he still said no. What a drag.
Oh, I just think that's a shame.
I'm finally old enough to go to Sandy Cove, and what does that old rinky-dink do? Chop.
Well, wait, maybe I could call Mr. Westcott and get him to change his mind.
Oh, that'll be the day.
Well, it's worth a try.
Go ahead, Lucy. Give old Ricky Dink a ding-a-ling.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Westcott?
Yes?
This is Mrs. Carmichael.
Oh.
Chris's mother. In case you don't remember me, at the last PTA cake sale, I was the pineapple upside down.
Oh, yes. What can I do for you, Mrs. Carmichael?
Well, it's about the girls' beach party. I was hoping you'd change your mind about Debbie.
Sorry, Mrs. Carmichael, I can't do that. I have my daughter's welfare to think of, and I have the reputation of Danfield High School to consider.
But, Mr. Westcott, I'm going to be the chaperone, and I plan to supervise the girls very closely.
Nothing personal, of course, but one woman can't possibly keep a close watch on 8 girls for a whole week.
Oh, didn't Debbie tell you there are going to be 2 chaperones? Yes, the other chaperone is a very dear friend of mine. She's a lovely older person. And she's very responsible and dependable, and she's had loads of experience with younger people. She's practically a nanny.
A nanny, eh? Well, of course, if there are 2 of you, all right. In that case, Debbie can go. But, Mrs. Carmichael, if anything goes wrong, I can promise you I'll abolish every girls' club at Danfield High.
Oh, Mr. Westcott, you don't have to worry. You will never regret this. Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, gee, thanks, Mom. Oh, you're the greatest. Gotta call the girls.
How about Lucy? Now, Viv, I don't blame you for being mad, but having 2 chaperones is what sold him. Now, be a sport. What do you say?
Nanny doesn't live here anymore.
Come on, Viv. Say yes.
Nothing
doing? But Jerry and Sherman are going to visit Uncle Ned. You don't have a single thing to do next week.
Oh, no, I face the boring prospect of sleeping till noon, sitting around the house nibbling chocolates and reading trashy novels.
You can do the same thing at Sandy Cove and get a tan besides. Well, come on, say yes.
Oh, all right.
Good girl.
Oh, wait a minute, can't go.
Why not?
Chris is using my suitcase.
Oh, well, don't you worry. I'll take care of that. When I go to the store, I'll get you a paper bag, too.
Too much as a redhead. Want to swap? Sure.
Hey, girls, look. I feel just like Jane Mansfield.
Oh, you're kidding. Gee, am I glad my father finally let me come.
Oh, me too.
Hey, Debbie, I don't know how you stand it. If my father was the school principal, I'd die. I'd really die. Yes, Blake. Hey, girls. What are we going to do all week? I mean, besides our hair and our nails? I wonder if there are any boys around. Are there? Woo! Now, Georgie Blake and his club have the cottage next door. There are 12 choice strangers on the other side. And our whole football team's across the road. Wow, Boyville! Hey, you know that real tall, good-looking guy that looks like Paul Newman? Well, anyway, he has to be the dancer. Yes? Why don't we call somebody up? We can't. There's no phone. Oh, no! No phone? I'll die. I'll really die. Maybe later we can take a walk up the beach and check the action.
That'd be fun.
Okay, kids, your beds are all made up.
Oh, thank you. Michael.
Well, look at this. What is that, some kind of a new jitterbug step? Jitterbug? This is a mashed potato. Oh, the mashed potato. Yeah, now that I see it, what else could it be?
Okay, kids, let's go to bed.
Bed? You're kidding. We were going to take a walk up the beach and check the action.
Well, now you got a whole week to check the action. We had a long drive, and we're all tired.
No, we're not.
Yes, you are. Okay, up to bed. Too bad. We're tired.
Come on now.
And give me the pop bottle. No pop, no candy. Give me candy. And don't take the radio. You're going to sleep, not dance.
Boy, hash a ton of dead rare gun. Yeah, wash that ton yahtsuits.
Well, that wasn't a very nice thing for them to say.
It wasn't. What'd they say?
They called us two Dudda-Gucky Yaksus. Is that bad? It means we're two old fogies.
How did you know that?
Oh, it's a kind of language teenagers speak when they don't want us old fogies to know what they're saying.
Oh, how'd you ever learn it?
Little Jerry figured it out and slipped me the code.
Oh.
Oh, what a mess this place is. You know, Viv, the kids have got a point. It would be kind of a drag spending a whole week here with two old fogies.
That's what chaperones are supposed to be.
Not necessarily. We could be two young fogies. We could turn ourselves into teenagers.
And just how do you propose to do that short of plastic surgery?
Well, we could act and talk like teenagers.
What's that?
A mashed potato.
Lucy, I think you got lumps in your gravy.
Viv, don't you see? We gotta get to be part of the gang. That way we can keep an eye on the girls without them resenting us.
Okay, we'll talk about it in the morning.
No, we're gonna talk about it tonight. I'm gonna teach you a few basic teenage slang words right now. Now, for instance, choice, groovy, and tough all mean good.
Tough means good?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, these teenagers just don't make any kind of sense today.
No, they don't make sense like we used to, Viv. Greetings, Gate. Let's cut a rug. Hubba, hubba, hubba. Okay, tough means good. Yeah. Now try to think like a teenager. Fink, creepy, scuzzy, grumpy, drippy, raunchy, and flaky. What do they sound like?
Like Snow White got hold of the wrong dwarfs.
They all mean bad.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh.
And diddly, 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 that means and so forth and so forth and so forth.
Good. If I ever get stuck, I'll just say diddly, diddly, diddly.
Now, when you leave a place, you split.
When you leave a place, you split.
Yeah. And when somebody funny cracks you up. And when you're enjoying yourself, you're having a blast. See, it's very easy.
Easy? That's tough.
There, now you're catching on.
Lucy?
What?
Don't you think I ought to shut the window?
To shut out that marvelous ocean breeze? Oh, boy, we're really going to sleep tonight, Viv.
Okay. Good night.
Pleasant dreams, Bill.
Oh, there's a mosquito in here. He must have come in on that marvelous ocean breeze.
That was not a mosquito. Mosquitoes come later in the summer.
Well, now, this one may have come a little early to take advantage of the off-season rate.
Oh, you're right. And he brought a friend to share expenses.
Oh, Lucy, this is terrible. Now, what are we going to do?
I think I saw some mosquito netting here.
Oh, to think I could be home with a bonbon and a book instead of in this flaky place.
Here, spread it across the whole bed, both beds. Plenty down here and plenty for our heads up at the top. Let's slide over. Gee.
Lucy?
What?
Do I look like a new bride?
You look more like an old beekeeper.
Good night.
Good night. Good thing we got this netting. The biggest mosquito I ever saw.
Lucy, will you please go to Sleepsville?
Boy, he is a big one. If I didn't know he was a mosquito, I'd swear he was a bat. Ah! There was a bat! A bat! That was a bat! Where is it? That's a bat! Not a bat!
What do we do? Where are you going? What do we do? Where? Oh, dear.
Screaming at your pad last night.
A bat got in the house and gave our chaperones the fit. They were so scared they stayed in the closet for 2 hours.
Well, what do you know? The bat just replaced the dog as man's best friend.
I didn't even see it. I slept through the whole thing. Me too. If I ever saw a bat, I'd die. I'd really die.
Listen, Cynthia, if you ever see a bat, just cool it. They won't bug you if you don't bug them.
Go!
we found the action.
Oh, boy, Bug Bill.
Hi, gang. Keep it blasting.
Keep it going down there. All out for fun.
Do you know those weirdos? The lead weirdo is my mother.
Sorry.
So am I. They're our chaperones. What are they up to? I don't know.
Hey, Bill, what are we gonna do with them? Well, I don't know. Where's that bat when you need it? We're gonna have to do something drastic to shake them. It looks like glue.
Hello there, kid. Hi there, everybody. Hey, how about this weather, Dave? Ain't it tough?
Oh, it is groovy fink.
Mother, these are the boys from next door. This is my mother and Mrs. Bagley.
How do you do, Mrs. Carmichael?
Oh, you can cool out Mrs. Carmichael, Jazz. Just think of me as one of the chicks.
Yes, chop on that Mrs. Bagley.
How about another song, Bill?
Hey, one at a time.
Hey, do you know big girls don't cry?
Yeah.
Hey, we know that, Viv.
Yeah, we know that, but let's do it, huh?
Big girls don't cry.
Big girls don't cry. Big girls don't cry. Big girls don't cry. They don't cry. My girl said goodbye. My oh my. My girl said goodbye. I wonder why. I'm a fool, silly fool. Big girls don't cry. They don't cry. Big girls don't cry. Big girls don't cry. Big girls don't cry. Big girls don't cry. I love that song. That is a wailing song, isn't it?
Yeah, do you know another song? How about the Surfer Stomp?
Sure, I know that one. You know that.
You
Surfer
play
Stomp.
that?
Well, get going on that song. We're gonna do that Surfer Stomp.
What are we gonna do with them?
Come on, have fun.
I know how we can get rid of them. How? Hey, everybody! Limbo!
Everybody get in line. Okay. Everybody limbo. Lucy, what's limbo?
How do I know? But if they limbo, we limbo.
Oh, wait a minute now, Lucy. If you think I'm going to do that, you are out to lunch.
Sit down and watch. Nothing doing. Get up there, Viv. You just
Oh, I'm going to. Oh, Lucy.
Sure.
Well,
Come on now.
get going back
Keep
there,
that beat.
fellas.
Keep that beat. 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 Very good. All right. Keep that beat. Keep that beat. Keep that beat. Keep that beat.
Yes, that was very good.
Thank you.
Lucy, I'm going to go in the house.
Wait a minute. Why do you want to split?
Because my pants just did.
All right, let's get that clothes and hurry back. We got to keep making this scene.
Oh, diddly, diddly, diddly.
One down and one to go. Hey, Cynthia, hold it for me, okay?
Sure.
Hey, come on, girl.
Lauren, just about there now. Oh, this is fun. I dig this. Now then, keep the beat. Keep the beat. Keep the beat. Keep the beat.
Oh, well, that's enough of that. We're going to do something else now. We're going to play volleyball. Yeah, volleyball. Get the ball. Oh, you sit down and watch. We're going to play volleyball. underwater and get away from that overgrown gidget?
Well, I'm all ready for the underwater bit. Last one in's a rotten fink. Where's the gang?
They got back a long time ago.
Oh, I guess I'm not very fast on my flippers.
Mom, I want to talk to you.
Well, can't you wait till I change my clothes? Oh, boy. Now I know why they call this a wetsuit.
Mother, you've ruined my spring vacation.
Do you mean to tell me I came all the way up from the bottom of the ocean to hear my own daughter say a thing like that?
Oh, Mom, it's just that we kids don't want you and Aunt Viv to act like teenagers.
You don't?
No, if you're going to be chaperones, act like chaperones.
Well, last night you called us two old fogies.
Well, that's because you made us go to bed so early. It didn't mean anything.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry if I embarrassed you. I'll try to make it up to you. You ask the fellas to come over and we'll have a party tonight.
A party?
Yeah, and Aunt Viv and I'll be chaperones, and we promise to stay way in the background and do nothing but chap.
Oh, that's neato. Wait a minute, Mom. Old fogey? How long have you been able to understand our secret language?
Oh, a couple of years now.
Sure.
Diddly, diddly, diddly. Hey, Viv, isn't it nice to be able to act like ourselves again? I wasn't cut out to be a teenager, even when I was a teenager. Okay, Debbie, what time are your folks going to come up?
I hope never. Nobody else's parents are coming up. Oh, why did I have to be a principal starter? It's Freaksville.
It's great, Miss Cummings.
Thank you. Well, Chris, is this a beautiful blast party?
It's a wonderful party, Mom.
Okay.
Mrs. Carmichael, I warned you about wild parties.
Oh, Mr. Westcott, this ain't a wild party. We were chasing a bat.
Oh, come now.
She's right, really.
I don't see any bats. Do you, Elizabeth?
No, Kenneth, I do not.
Well, it was here a minute ago. We must have chased it away.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, wait in the car. I'll handle this.
Yes, Kenneth. But, Daddy, there was a bat. He must have blown out the window.
Debbie, you pack your things.
But, Daddy!
And your club is under suspension until further notice.
Mr. Westcott, that's not fair. You must believe me. This was very innocent.
I know a rumble when I see one.
Kenneth! It is a bat! It's in the car!
Mrs. Carmichael!
Go now. Believe me, Mr. Westcott, I was aiming at the bat. myself. That's somebody's little boy.
Come on, come on. Hey, fellas, come on now. This is our last chance at bat. All we need is 18 runs to tie this little old game up. 18.
Oh, we're never going to score 18 runs in one inning. How come the leaguers play only 6 innings?
Oh, I guess it's to make it easy on the boys.
Yeah, or to make it easy on the mothers.
Yeah.
All right, there's my Billy Boy. Come on now, Billy. Get
All right, now, wait a minute.
He was safe by a mile.
Oh, of course he was. Oh, Sherm, come on now. Home run. How about it, Sherm? A home run, that's what we need. Come on now, Sherm. Now, wait for a good one. Don't hit a bad one now, Sherm. Wait for a good one. Are you crazy? That was a ball by a mile.
Billy and Audrey, please.
Oh, come on now, Sherm. Don't let it throw you. Don't let it throw you. You've got to be kidding. Umpire, I'd like to see their pitcher's birth certificate. If that boy's only 12, I'm sweet 16.
Oh,
that's what I am.
I've never seen you two act like this. After all, it's only a game and a practice game at that.
Oh, you're just so calm. You just wait till your son Jerry gets in the game.
Yeah, well, when he does, I can assure you I won't disgrace myself like you two do.
All right, all right.
Free, you're out!
Tell the umpire.
Audrey, the umpire is Dr. Jacoby.
Well, from now on, I'm taking my astigmatism to another eye doctor.
Dr. Jacoby, why don't you make an appointment with yourself and get your eyes examined?
Yeah.
Why don't you do something like that, huh?
Honestly, I'm going to move somewhere else. I don't understand you two.
Jerry Carmichael batting for Mike Martin.
That's my son. This is his first year. He's the youngest player on the team. The youngest player on the team. Wait a minute, mister. Where are you going? My son's going to bat. Winner! Come on, Jerry boy. Sock that old apple. Give it a ride, boy.
Come on, Jerry.
Come on, Jerry boy.
Jerry boy.
Get in there, boy.
Let's see you doing, apple boy.
Strike one.
You call that a strike? No!
It's only a game.
What do you mean it's only a game? Where's your team spirit? We're 18 runs behind. Come on, Jerry, hit that old hard time.
Okay, Jerry.
Strike.
Oh, what's the matter with you, Doc? Got your contact lenses in backwards? Come on, Jerry.
This is really funny.
Quiet, quiet. You'll make Jerry nervous.
Jerry boy.
Strike three.
Oh, you're crazy! That was not a strike, for heaven's sake. It was way down on the ground. Boo! Boo!
The game's over.
Oh, boo! That's the worst umpiring I've ever seen.
Come on now.
Oh, no wonder their pitcher had 15 strikeouts. He's old enough to be in those shaving commercials.
Listen, I'll meet you there.
Okay, Audrey, we'll meet you later.
Boo!
Lucy, come on, we promised the boys we'd buy them an ice cream cone. Sherman, I don't want you to feel badly now. I know you'll do better in the opening game tomorrow.
I sure hope so.
Come on, Jerry. Don't you feel badly either. You'll do better tomorrow, too.
I won't be here tomorrow.
Why not?
Our manager sent me down to the B team.
Why? Just because you struck out once?
I guess I'm not big league material.
Oh, that's not fair.
Well, I should say it isn't fair. Why, Mickey Mantle strikes out lots of times.
Viv, take the boys and go to the car. I'll see you later.
Okay, come along, fellas. What are you going to do?
I'm going to do what I'm sure Mickey Mantle's mother does when he strikes out. Just going to have a talk with the manager.
Good.
Mr. Crescent.
Oh, hi, Mrs. Carmichael.
Jerry tells me you're going to send him to the minors.
Yeah, well, I think it's best for him. He's a fine little ball player, but his hitting just isn't quite good enough yet for an A team.
I see. Well, now, how would you know how good his hitting is? He's only been up once.
Mrs. Carmichael, I run the team the way I see it. I'm the manager.
Ha! Some manager. How'd you ever get to be manager anyway?
I was the only father who couldn't think up a good excuse for getting out of it.
Mr. Crescent, I noticed that your son struck out today. Is he being sent to the minors?
Mrs. Carmichael, if every boy who struck out today was sent to the minors, I wouldn't have any team.
Aha! Then why are you picking on my little Jerry?
All right. I'll give Jerry one more chance. I'll start him in the opening game tomorrow.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Crescent. Baseball needs more men like you.
Well, let me know when they find him. I'd like to get back to my hardware store.
Oh, and don't you worry about Jerry's hitting. By tomorrow's game, he'll be another Mickey Mantle.
Mrs. Carmichael.
Yes, sir.
Mickey Mantle spent years learning how to hit.
I know, but he didn't have me to coach him. That's right. Now, take a good swing. Oh, no, honey. No, you're forgetting what's in the book. You sit down now, and I'll show you. Here, you take these rubber balls. You squeeze these. That'll get the muscles in your hands real strong. Now, squeeze them. That's right. Now watch here. You see, you take the bat like this. Put your hands together. And then you go straight out like this. You don't wrap it around your neck like that, see? You step forward with your left foot and you swing nice and level. Now, you see, that would have been a two-bagger.
That's pretty good for me.
Yeah. You know, I'm not going to be satisfied till you are the short sultan of squat. How about that? Listen, keep squeezing, Jerry. Now, I want to show you something in this book here. You see how he's holding the bat? You see
Sherman?
that?
What, Mom?
Come on down. It's time for me to rub your arm again.
Again?
Yes, again.
I'm too busy, Mom. I'm writing a composition for English.
Writing? With a game tomorrow, you'll ruin your pitching arm.
Now, who else am I going to do it?
You just dictate it to me, darling, and I'll type it for you in the morning. Now, you sit down and let me rub my little southpaw's arm, huh?
Now, you see, part of the trouble is you're not getting the bat around fast enough. Keep squeezing, Jerry.
Maybe the bat's too heavy for him.
Oh? What do you think, Jerry?
The bat's not too heavy. I'm too light.
Well, if you're going to use this bat, you're going to have to choke it then. And if you're going to choke it, you really choke it way up there, see?
Boy, Jerry, you're so little. I'm sure glad I'm not pitching to you.
What's that got to do with it?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Well, it's just hard for pitchers to throw strikes to somebody that small.
Oh, you mean if he scrooches down in the batter's box, it would be even harder? Hey.
It also helps if he can rattle the pitcher.
Good idea.
How do you rattle the pitcher?
You scare him. You look mean and you snarl at him. Keep squeezing, Jerry. Now, all you got to remember is scrooch, snarl, and swing. Okay, Jerry, let's see what you can do.
Okay.
Take a good swing now. What's the matter?
I can't hold the bat.
Why not? What happened?
I squeezed the ball so much my fingers are exhausted.
Well, you poor little thing. I guess you've had enough practice for tonight. You go to bed, sweetheart.
Okay, good night, Mom.
Good night, dear.
Rap!
What's that?
I was practicing my snarl.
Oh.
That ought to scare the pitcher.
Yeah, especially if he walks up to the plate to kiss you goodnight. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, honey.
There you are now, Sherman. Let me know if you want another massage before you go to sleep.
Gosh, no, you rubbed my arm away.
No, I wouldn't. Good night, darling. Good night. Go right to bed. Go right to sleep now. Don't you worry about that game tomorrow.
No, don't worry about it, Sherm.
Lucy,
What?
are you nervous about the game?
Oh, nervous as a cat. How about you?
If a dog walked in, I'd arch my back.
Oh, Viv, this is ridiculous for two grown women. After all, it's only a game.
Yeah, it's only a game.
Yeah, what difference if Jerry doesn't get a hit tomorrow?
And what if Sherman does lose the game?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, Lucy, we gotta slow down and save ourselves for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I guess with Little League mothers, the legs are the first to go.
We just gotta forget all about baseball.
Yeah, let's put it completely out of our minds.
Right.
Let's think about something else.
All right.
What'll we do?
Well, now let's see. It's 10 to 9.
10 to 9, what inning?
Bottom of the 5th.
Hold up, Tigers! Viv, we gotta get hold of ourselves. Let's think about something else.
Yeah, let's eat something.
Yeah, okay.
How about a piece of fruit?
All right.
I'm gonna have an orange.
All right, I'll have one, too.
Oh, well, there's just one. Here, you take it.
No, I don't need it. Here, give me something else.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. I like a banana. You're particularly about
so
having an
silly.
orange, honest to goodness.
Hey, that was a good catch.
Wasn't bad, was it? All right.
Okay, what's around the infield? Okay, there you go. Addio, better here. Come on, here. There you go.
Oh, you gotta go to this. Are you ready for this one?
Right in here.
Look
Put it
out,
right in
Doc.
here. Okay. Why don't we go to bed, try to get some sleep, and forget the whole thing?
That is a good idea. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with a crowd.
Find me something that's a Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never come back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. It's a shame. 'Cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old. Babe, let's go to bed.
In there and pitch.
Just a minute. Some umpire you are.
What are you trying to do, throw this game?
Mrs. Bagley, Mrs. Carmichael, would you please get off the field?
Not until you reverse your decision.
That last pitch was a strike.
How would you know?
Because my son said so.
And her son doesn't lie.
That's how I know.
Yeah, that's how she knows.
Ladies, please.
Mr. Crescent, you tell him.
Sorry, I'll get him back in the stands.
That isn't what you're supposed to tell him.
Ladies, we have a rule in the Little League. No mothers allowed on the field.
Some manager you are.
Yeah, how much is the syndicate paying you to throw this game?
Now, look, if you two are not back in the stands right away, I am going to ask the umpire to throw you out of the park.
You wouldn't dare.
Umpire?
All right, play ball. Ball one.
Come on now, watch it, keep your eye on it. Keep your eye on it, Jared. There it goes.
Strike 3, you're out.
Oh, no!
That was no strike.
I know, but you swung at it.
It's not fair. I was snarling it. Threw off my timing.
I'm sorry, you're out. Come on. Out.
Just a minute.
Oh, no, not again.
This is an outrage.
You're giving umpires a bad name.
Yeah, you're not doing too much for doctors either. I bet you have trouble reading your own eye chart. You can see me, can't you?
Unfortunately, I can.
Why don't you two get back in the stands?
Why don't you get back to your hardware store?
We may demand a new umpire.
And we may demand a new manager.
Can't you do something about these two meddling mamas?
Yeah. Out.
Out?
Out of the park, into your car, and home.
You can't do this.
Unless you are out of here by the count of 3, the Tigers will forfeit the game. 1, 2.
How humiliating.
Oh, you'll get used to being kicked out. The first time's always the hardest.
You mean you've been kicked out before?
No, not this season.
Boy, I would have given him a piece of my mind if I didn't want to forfeit the game.
Right.
Oh, I sure would like to see Sherman pitch.
And I'd like to see Jerry play. I wonder if we could sneak back in.
Lucy!
Well, it was just a thought.
Well, come on, girl, let's go.
Listen, Viv. I have some shopping to do. I'll meet you at home later.
Okay. See you there.
You're out! Play ball.
All right, Tommy. Nice long single. Bring Jerry in from second. Mrs. Carmichael, where are you? Come out wherever you are. Mrs. Carmichael, come out! Mrs. Carmichael, do you want me to forfeit this game?
No, sir.
Well, then get out and stay out.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, sir. All right, Mrs. Carmichael. Out!
How'd you know it was me?
Men don't usually come to baseball games carrying a lady's purse. Mrs. Carmichael, this is your last chance. Now go home.
You're right.
Billy?
You're right.
Who's the white guy?
Play ball.
You're out. You're right. Ball one.
That's the way, Sherman. That's the way I told you to do it. Good boy. Good. Good boy. Sherman, I told you not to swing at those hands.
You're out.
Jerry, you're next up. Come on, Jerry, get out.
That was...
Congratulations, Mrs. Carmichael.
Thank you. Hey, how about that? That was my son that hit that home run. How about that? Wasn't that wonderful? That was my son.
Whose son do you think was the winning pitcher?
Disaster on the rails. The broken model and the desperate search for sugar. The discovery of the ruined Sugar Cube White House arrives with the suddenness of a curtain dropping on a carefully prepared scene. One moment, Lucy Carmichael and Vivian Bagley are returning from a pleasant dinner in the dining car, exchanging the small, contented observations that mark the middle of a successful journey. "Oh, wasn't that a delicious dinner? I love to eat on trains," and the next moment, the entire elaborate structure of their adventure lies in fragments on the floor of the aisle. The model that had required weeks of careful gluing, the model that had secured a presidential appointment, the model that had been maneuvered with such difficulty onto the train, has been reduced to a scattering of broken cubes and collapsed architectural details. The transcript captures the moment with stark simplicity. What happened to it? That's what happened to it. The repetition is devastating. There is no need for elaborate explanation. The evidence is before them, and the evidence is absolute. Lucille Ball's Lucy responds with the layered emotional precision that defines her greatest performances. The first reaction is pure maternal distress. What are we going to tell the boys? The question is immediate and heartfelt. The Cub Scouts have invested their time, their pride, and their sense of civic participation in this project. To arrive in Washington empty-handed would be to disappoint them in a way that no amount of presidential sightseeing could fully repair. The second reaction follows at once. What are we going to tell the president? Here the social dimension of the catastrophe becomes clear. Lucy herself arranged the appointment. She spoke to the president, or at least to someone she firmly believes was the president. She promised a gift. The prospect of appearing at the White House with nothing but an explanation is for a woman of Lucy's temperament almost unthinkable. Vivian's contribution in this moment is characteristically supportive and dryly practical. Her suggestion that the president might accept a replica of Admiral Byrd's headquarters at the South Pole is a perfect example of the gentle humor that has always marked the partnership between the two women. It acknowledges the impossibility of the situation while refusing to surrender entirely to despair. The line also serves a deeper structural purpose. It keeps the tone of the scene from tipping into genuine pathos. The audience is invited to feel Lucy's distress, but it is never allowed to forget that this is still a comedy and that the machinery of comic recovery is already beginning to turn. The decision that follows is pure Lucy Carmichael in crisis. There is only one possible course of action. The White House must be rebuilt, and it must be rebuilt before 8 o'clock the following morning. The practical obstacle is identified with brutal clarity. They will need 3,000 sugar cubes. The number is staggering, and Vivian's immediate response is the voice of ordinary reason. The dining car is unlikely to maintain a surplus of 3,000 sugar cubes for the convenience of desperate den mothers. Yet, Lucy is already in motion. She will speak to the dining car steward. Vivian will prepare to leave the train at the next stop and buy whatever sugar can be found in the brief intervals between stations. The plan is desperate, logistically improbable, and entirely consistent with the character's lifelong refusal to accept defeat when a promise to children is at stake. The encounter with the dining car steward is a small masterpiece of character comedy and period detail. Lucy approaches with the polite determination of a woman who has already decided that the steward's cooperation is inevitable. "Would you sell me some sugar?" she asks, and the steward's reply is the essence of practical resistance. "I'm sorry, lady. I'm not in the grocery business." Lucy's explanation of the situation, the Cub Scout project, the presidential appointment, the destruction of the model, the absolute necessity of rebuilding is delivered with the full force of her conviction. The steward remains unmoved. When Lucy presses for a reason, the steward offers one of the episode's most perfectly timed political jokes, "I'm a Republican." The line is delivered with the dry finality of a man who has found an unassailable excuse, and Lucy's response is equally perfect. She points out that the Cub Scouts are bipartisan. The exchange is brief, but it encapsulates an entire era of gentle political humor in which party affiliation could still be treated as a comic trait rather than a source of genuine bitterness. The steward's practical objection is of course legitimate. He has no way of knowing how many passengers will require sugar during the remainder of the journey, and he is responsible for the supplies under his care. Lucy's request is from his perspective unreasonable. Yet the comedy arises precisely from the collision between that reasonable institutional perspective and Lucy's absolute belief that the needs of Den 8 and the presidential appointment outweigh ordinary considerations of inventory. The scene does not mock the steward. It simply places him in the path of a force of nature and allows the audience to enjoy the resulting friction. Having failed to secure the necessary sugar from the dining car, Lucy turns to the next available resource, the passengers themselves. The small sequence in which she collects sugar from other diners, including the memorable exchange in which she claims the sugar is for her horse, is a classic example of Lucy's ability to improvise her way through social situations that would defeat a more conventional character. The claim about the horse is absurd on its face, yet it is delivered with such sincerity that the passenger is momentarily disarmed. The moment is pure ball, the ability to make the preposterous sound temporarily plausible through sheer commitment to the performance. The larger plan that emerges from this sequence is one of the episode's most ambitious comic constructions. Lucy will leave the train at the next stop, Greenview, and attempt to purchase as much sugar as possible in the brief time available. Vivian will remain on the train with the boys and the broken model. The two women will rendezvous at subsequent stops, transferring the acquired sugar and continuing the journey toward Washington. The plan requires precise timing, a degree of physical stamina that would challenge a professional athlete, and a willingness to treat the railroad timetable as a set of suggestions rather than a set of rules. It is, in short, a classic Lucy plan, elegant in conception, chaotic in execution, and powered entirely by the refusal to disappoint a group of Cub Scouts. The cultural texture of the early 1960s is present in every detail of the sequence. The dining car, with its formal service and its careful management of supplies, evokes a world in which train travel still retained a degree of ceremony. The timetable, with its sequence of small-town stops Greenview, Middlebrook, Flatbridge, Scotfield, maps a landscape of ordinary American communities that the express train ordinarily passes without acknowledgement. Lucy's decision to leave the train and engage with those communities in the most practical way possible by buying sugar transforms the journey from a simple transit into a kind of comic odyssey. The railroad, which had previously been an obstacle, now becomes a series of opportunities, each stop a potential source of the 3,000 cubes that stand between the Cub Scouts and their presidential appointment. The emotional core of the sequence remains the relationship between Lucy and the boys. Every desperate measure, every confrontation with a steward, every decision to leave the train and race against the timetable is motivated by the simple desire to protect the children from disappointment. Lucy is not pursuing personal glory. She is not attempting to impress the president for her own sake. She is attempting to keep a promise that she made on behalf of Den 8, and she is prepared to exhaust every available resource in the effort. That motivation elevates the physical comedy from mere slapstick into something more substantial, a demonstration of the lengths to which a determined and affectionate adult will go when the happiness of children is at stake. By the end of the sequence, the Sugar Cube White House remains in ruins. The presidential appointment remains in force, and Lucy has committed herself to a course of action that will require her to leave the train, acquire a horse, race across the countryside in a desperate attempt to gather 3,000 sugar cubes before the final arrival in Washington. The disaster on the rails has been absolute, yet it has also been generative. Out of the destruction of the original model has come a new and even more ambitious adventure, one that will test Lucy's physical endurance, her improvisational skill, and her absolute refusal to accept that some obstacles are simply too large to overcome. The sequence stands as a perfect illustration of the comic architecture that made the Lucy show enduringly successful. A reasonable and even admirable impulse, the desire to present a children's project to the president, is expanded beyond practical limits. The expansion generates catastrophe. The catastrophe generates a new and more desperate plan. And the plan, in turn, generates the physical and logistical comedy that is the series' greatest glory. The broken model on the floor of the aisle is not an ending. It is a beginning, and the beginning of one of the most sustained and inventive comic sequences in the entire run of the series. The moment Lucy Carmichael steps off the train at Greenview, the episode crosses a threshold from the contained comedy of railroad corridors and dining cars into the open-air physical farce that is one of Lucille Ball's greatest and most enduring gifts to American comedy. What begins as a simple errand, the acquisition of 3,000 sugar cubes in the brief interval before the train departs, rapidly expands into a cross-country odyssey involving a horse named Annabelle, a series of missed stations, and an alarming number of fences, and a quantity of sugar that proves both a burden and a temptation to the animal itself. The sequence is a masterclass in the escalation of physical comedy from ordinary circumstances, and it showcases Ball's extraordinary ability to combine athletic commitment, facial expressiveness, and absolute belief in the reality of the situation, no matter how absurd that situation becomes. The initial encounters in Greenview are marked by the same polite determination that characterized Lucy's confrontation with the dining car steward. She needs sugar. She needs a great deal of it, and she needs it quickly. The practical difficulties of obtaining 3,000 cubes in a small town during a brief train stop are self-evident. Yet, Lucy approaches the problem with the confidence of a woman who has already decided that the universe will provide. The transcript's rendering of the scene is fragmentary in places, but the essential action is clear. Lucy acquires sugar by various means, including the memorable claim that the cubes are intended for her horse. The claim is absurd, yet it is delivered with such sincerity that it momentarily disarms the listener. In Ball's performance, one can imagine the wide-eyed innocence, the slight tilt of the head, the absolute refusal to acknowledge that the explanation is preposterous. The sugar is obtained. The first stage of the plan has succeeded. It is at this point that Annabelle enters the narrative, and with her entrance, the comedy shifts into a higher and more purely physical register. The horse is not a trained cinematic animal performing carefully rehearsed tricks. Within the logic of the episode, she is simply a horse that Lucy has somehow acquired or borrowed in the urgency of the moment, a horse that will serve as transportation between the scattered stations of the railroad line. The decision to use a horse is itself a perfect expression of Lucy's improvisational genius. When the ordinary means of transportation remaining on the train or finding a taxi or simply walking prove inadequate to the timetable, Lucy expands the available options to include the animal world. The expansion is both practical and comic. A horse can cover ground quickly. A horse can also, as the audience immediately understands, introduce an entirely new set of variables into an already precarious situation. The first complication arrives almost at once. Annabelle, it turns out, has a taste for sugar. The scene in which the horse begins to eat the cubes directly from Lucy's handbag is a small masterpiece of visual comedy. The horse is eating the sugar right out of your purse, someone observes, and Lucy's response is a mixture of maternal protectiveness toward the sugar and a kind of reluctant admiration for the animal's initiative. The subsequent exchange, in which the possibility is raised that Annabelle might be looking for something other than sugar, perhaps a billfold, adds a layer of verbal play to the physical action. The horse is not merely an obstacle. She is a character with appetites and preferences of her own, and those appetites are in direct conflict with Lucy's mission. The decision to continue the journey on horseback racing from station to station in an attempt to keep pace with the train is the point at which the sequence achieves its full comic grandeur. Lucy's instructions to Vivian, "Meet me at the next stop, wait for me, I will be there," are delivered with the confidence of a general outlining a campaign. The reality, of course, is far more chaotic. Annabelle proves to be a jumper. Anytime she saw anything a foot off the ground, it was up bellow. Lucy later explains, and the phonetic rendering of up and over as up bellow in the transcript only adds to the sense of breathless physical storytelling. The horse does not merely jump when necessary. She jumps when the opportunity presents itself, and when no opportunity presents itself, she creates one. Fences, walls, hedges, anything that rises even slightly from the landscape becomes an invitation to leave the ground. The physical comedy of these jumps is among the most sustained and inventive in the entire series. One can imagine Ball's commitment to the action, the jouncing ride, the repeated launches into the air, the impact of the sugar-filled bags against her ribs, the growing exhaustion, the increasingly desperate attempts to control an animal that has its own ideas about the proper way to travel across the countryside. The later confession I want to tell you: when you haven't lived until you've jumped over a high fence with 15 pounds of sugar slapping you in the ribs, is both a comic boast and a genuine report from the front lines of physical farce. The sugar, which was the entire purpose of the journey, has become an additional source of discomfort, a constant reminder of the mission's weight in the most literal sense. The missed stations form a comic structure of their own. At Middlebrook, the train waits as long as it can, but Annabelle's fear of the dark tunnel delays Lucy beyond the limits of the schedule. At Flatbridge, or Flatridge as the transcript variously renders it, the train does not stop at all because it is a Sunday or a holiday, a fact that no one has previously mentioned. At Scotfield, the final opportunity before Washington, the conductor is on the verge of departing without her when Lucy finally arrives, exhausted, disheveled, and triumphant with the sugar intact. The sequence of near misses and last-second arrivals creates a rising rhythm of tension and release that is the essence of sustained physical comedy. Each station represents both a hope and a potential failure, and each time Lucy's absolute refusal to quit carries her through. The supporting details of the sequence are handled with the economical precision that marks the series at its best. The conductor's growing impatience is understandable and human. He has a schedule to keep. He has passengers who expect to arrive in Washington on time. Yet he is not a villain. When he finally agrees to wait a little longer at Scotfield, it is because Lucy's determination has somehow communicated itself even to a man whose professional life is governed by timetables. Vivian's role during these sequences is that of the loyal partner holding the fort on the train, managing the boys, and maintaining the connection with Lucy across the increasingly chaotic series of rendezvous. The partnership between the two women remains the emotional anchor of the adventure, even when they are separated by miles of countryside and the unpredictable behavior of a jumping horse. The cultural texture of the early 1960s is present in the very landscape of the sequence. The small towns, the rural fences, the two-lane roads, the parking meters, all of these details evoke a world in which the distance between the railroad line and the surrounding countryside was still porous. A world in which a woman on a horse could still move from station to station with a reasonable expectation of keeping pace with a local train. The final detail of the sequence, the tying of Annabelle to a parking meter, and the subsequent realization that no money has been deposited, is a perfect button on the entire adventure. Lucy has crossed the countryside, jumped an uncounted number of fences, preserved the sugar, and reached the train. She has also in the process created a new and entirely mundane problem, a horse that is now illegally parked. The transition from the epic to the ordinary is instantaneous and hilarious. Throughout the sequence, the motivation remains constant and pure. Lucy is not riding across the countryside for the pleasure of the ride, or for the sake of a comic set piece, or even for the satisfaction of overcoming obstacles. She is riding because 3,000 sugar cubes stand between the Cub Scouts and the fulfillment of a promise. The presidential appointment is still in force. The boys still expect to present their gift. The original model is still in ruins. And Lucy Carmichael, with a horse named Annabelle, and a quantity of sugar that seems to increase in weight with every jump, is prepared to exhaust every physical resource she possesses in order to keep that promise intact. The sequence stands as one of the purest expressions of Lucille Ball's comic genius. It requires no elaborate props beyond a horse and some bags of sugar. It requires no intricate verbal wit beyond the occasional breathless report of what has just occurred. What it requires, and what Ball supplies in abundance, is the absolute commitment of a great physical comedian to the reality of the moment. When Lucy reports that she has jumped over every fence wall and hedge between Greenville and Scottville, the audience believes her. When she describes the sugar slapping against her ribs, the audience feels the impact. When she finally arrives exhausted but successful, the audience shares in the triumph. That sharing is the essence of Ball's art, the ability to take the audience with her into the heart of the absurdity and to make the absurdity feel for as long as the scene lasts like the most important thing in the world. By the end of the sequence, the sugar has been secured. The train is once again moving toward Washington. Annabelle has been left in circumstances that will no doubt require further explanation and possibly further payment. And Lucy Carmichael, bruised, breathless, and undaunted, is ready for the next stage of the adventure, the all-night reconstruction of the White House from the cubes she has so laboriously acquired. The cross-country ride is over. The real work of rebuilding is about to begin. The reunion between Lucy Carmichael and Vivian Bagley after the cross-country odyssey with Annabelle is a moment of pure, hard-won triumph, tempered almost immediately by the discovery of a new and potentially fatal omission. Lucy arrives exhausted, disheveled, and radiant with success. She has the sugar. 3,000 cubes acquired through a combination of persuasion, improvisation, and an alarming number of airborne journeys over rural fences are now in her possession. The first exchange is exactly what the audience has been waiting for. "Did you get the sugar?" Vivian asks. I did, Viv," Lucy replies, and the repetition carries the full weight of the ordeal she has just endured. She follows the confirmation with one of the episode's most memorable reports from the front lines of physical comedy. "I want to tell you, you haven't lived until you've jumped over a high fence with 15 pounds of sugar, slapping you in the ribs." The line is both a comic boast and a genuine piece of testimony. The sugar that was the entire purpose of the journey has also been a constant physical torment, and Lucy delivers the information with the mixture of pride and residual discomfort that marks a true survivor of her own schemes. For a brief luminous moment, it appears that the crisis has been resolved. The raw materials for the reconstruction are at hand. The presidential appointment is still in force. The boys are still asleep or otherwise occupied. Dawn is still several hours away. Then Vivian asks the question that detonates the entire carefully constructed sense of relief. "I sure hate to ask you this after all you've been through, but did you remember to buy glue?" The silence that follows is one of the great comic pauses in the series. Lucy's response is a series of wordless sounds, that convey more eloquently than any coherent sentence could the full horror of the realization. She has the sugar. She has traveled across the countryside on a jumping horse to obtain the sugar. She has preserved the sugar against the appetites of Annabelle and the hazards of the journey. And she has forgotten the one additional substance without which the sugar is useless. The moment is pure Lucy Carmichael and pure Lucille Ball. The greatest obstacles have been overcome, only to reveal that a smaller, more ordinary obstacle remains. The pattern is familiar to every viewer of the series. The elaborate plan succeeds in its most difficult aspects and then stumbles over a detail so basic that its omission seems almost willful. Yet, there is nothing willful about the forgetting. Lucy has been focused with absolute intensity on the acquisition of the cubes. The glue, which had been part of the original living room construction, has simply fallen out of the urgent inventory of the crisis. The omission is human and therefore comic. Vivian's reaction is the perfect mixture of loyalty and exasperation. The two women have come too far, and Lucy has endured too much for the enterprise to collapse over a bottle of glue. The despair is real, but it is not allowed to linger. Almost at once, Lucy's mind begins to work on the problem. "You got all the sugar. All I have to think of is something else that will make them stick together." The sentence is a declaration of continued war against circumstance. The glue is gone. Another adhesive must be found. The search for that adhesive produces one of the episode's most inspired and most characteristically domestic solutions. Vivian, it turns out, has brought a supply of bubble gum for the boys. The gum was intended as a simple treat, a way of keeping the Cub Scouts contented during the journey. In Lucy's hands, it becomes the critical missing element of the reconstruction. I know. Wow, I got just the thing, she announces. I brought all this bubblegum along in case the boys wanted it. To chew this up and stick them together. The proposal is immediately met with skepticism. Bubblegum. We'll never be able to put that thing together, Vivian protests. Yet the protest is already weakening under the force of Lucy's conviction. There is no other option. The gum will have to serve. The two women will chew it, and the chewed gum will become the mortar that holds the new White House together. The decision launches the central physical and visual comedy of the sequence, the all-night reconstruction of the sugar cube White House using bubblegum as adhesive. The image is irresistible. Two middle-aged women, one of them still carrying the bruises and exhaustion of a cross-country horseback ride, sitting in a train compartment in the middle of the night, chewing stick after stick of bubblegum and carefully pressing the softened mass between sugar cubes in an attempt to recreate the portico, the columns, the windows, and the final chimney of the executive mansion. The work is delicate, repetitive, and increasingly absurd. The gum must be chewed to the proper consistency. The cubes must be placed with precision. The structure must be stable enough to survive the remaining hours of the journey and the presentation itself, and all of it must be completed before 8 o'clock in the morning. The comedy of the reconstruction is both visual and conceptual. Visually, the audience is invited to imagine the growing pile of chewed gum wrappers, the rhythmic motion of the women's jaws, the careful, almost reverent placement of each cube, the occasional collapse of a section that has not been adequately secured, and the rising tension as the night wears on, and the appointment draws closer. Conceptually, the use of bubblegum transforms the entire project. The original model had been constructed with proper glue in the orderly environment of a living room. The replacement is being constructed with a children's confection in the confined and unstable environment of a moving train. The materials themselves have become part of the joke. The White House is no longer merely made of sugar. It is made of sugar and the chewed residue of bubblegum. A combination that somehow manages to be both more precarious and more purely Lucy than the original. The sequence also deepens the portrayal of the partnership between Lucy and Vivian. Vivian's initial skepticism is real, yet she does not refuse to participate. She chews, she places cubes, she shares in the labor and the absurdity. The two women have been through too much together: the original construction, the telephone call, the train boarding crisis, the destruction of the model, the desperate search for sugar to abandon the enterprise now. Their shared work in the middle of the night becomes a quiet affirmation of the bond that has always been the emotional center of the series. They are not merely friends or co-den mothers. They are co-conspirators in the best sense, jointly committed to the success of a project that has long since passed beyond the boundaries of ordinary reason. The cultural texture of the early 1960s is present even in this intimate and slightly mad sequence. Bubblegum itself was a ubiquitous part of American childhood in the period, a cheap, cheerful, and slightly subversive pleasure. By elevating it to the status of architectural mortar, the episode performs a characteristic Lucy transformation. The ordinary materials of domestic and childhood life are pressed into service for extraordinary purposes. The same impulse that turned sugar cubes into the White House now turns bubblegum into the force that holds the White House together. The transformation is both comic and oddly touching. It suggests that the resources necessary for the fulfillment of ambitious dreams are often already present in the most humble and overlooked corners of everyday life. As the reconstruction continues, the pressure of time becomes an almost physical presence in the compartment. The appointment is at 8 o'clock. The train is still moving toward Washington. The boys will wake. The model must be finished, or at least finished enough to present. The work takes on the quality of a race against the clock, a race conducted in whispers and careful movements so as not to disturb the sleeping Cub Scouts. The audience is invited to feel the tension in every placed cube, every chewed stick of gum, every anxious glance at a watch or a timetable. The comedy remains light, but the stakes within the logic of the episode are absolute. By the time the sequence reaches its conclusion, the new sugar cube White House, held together by bubblegum, stands as a testament to the extraordinary lengths to which Lucy Carmichael will go in order to keep a promise. The model is not the same as the original. It is more fragile, more improvised, more purely the product of crisis and determination. Yet, it exists. It has been brought back from destruction by a combination of cross-country horsemanship, forgotten glue, and the humble resources of a packet of bubblegum intended for children. In the world of the Lucy Show, that is not merely success. It is a form of triumph that could belong to no one else. The reconstruction is complete, or as complete as it can be under the circumstances. Dawn is approaching. Washington is drawing near. The presidential appointment remains in force. And Lucy Carmichael, her jaw sore from chewing her fingers, sticky with gum, her body still carrying the memory of Annabelle's jumps, is ready for the next and final stage of the adventure, the presentation itself. The bubblegum White House is finished. The real test is about to begin. The arrival at the White House marks the culmination of every desperate measure, every physical ordeal, and every last-minute improvisation that has carried Lucy Carmichael and Vivian Bagley from the living room in Danfield to the very doorstep of the presidency. The sugar cube model, now held together by the chewed residue of an entire supply of bubblegum, has survived the train, the reconstruction, and the final nervous hours of the journey. The Cub Scouts are present in their best behavior. The appointment secured in that earlier moment of telephone triumph remains in force. All that remains is the presentation itself. Yet in the world of the Lucy Show, the final approach to a long-sought goal is never a matter of simple execution. It is the moment when the accumulated tension of the entire adventure converts itself into a new and more intimate form of physical comedy. And when Lucille Ball's genius for transforming ordinary objects into instruments of chaos reaches one of its purest expressions. The sequence begins in the anteroom, where the atmosphere is thick with the kind of nervous anticipation that Ball could convey with a single shift of posture or a fleeting expression. Lucy is rehearsing her presentation speech with the desperate concentration of a student who has prepared thoroughly and still expects to forget everything at the critical moment. On behalf of the Cub Scouts of Danfield, New York, Pack 57 Den 8, we'd like to present this model White House to you. The President of the United States. The words are simple, dignified, and entirely appropriate to the occasion. Yet even in rehearsal, they prove fragile. Lucy stumbles over the number of the pack, hesitates over the title of the office she is addressing, and requires Vivian's patient prompting to reach the end of the sentence. The stumbling is not a sign of inadequate preparation. It is the external evidence of an internal state that every viewer recognizes, the sudden, overwhelming awareness that the moment has arrived and that the moment is larger than ordinary life. The physical symptoms of Lucy's anxiety announce themselves with classic clarity. "My legs are all wobbly," she confides, and the simple admission is enough to set the next stage of the comedy in motion. She must sit down. The chair that presents itself is not an ordinary chair. It is a small rocking chair that a helpful attendant explains once belonged to President Lincoln's son Tad when he was approximately the age of the Cub Scouts themselves. The historical detail is perfect. It connects the present moment of nervous den mothers and sugar cube architecture to the deeper continuum of American presidential history, and it does so through the intimate domestic object of a child's chair. Lucy sinks into it with relief. The relief, of course, is temporary. What follows is one of the most purely physical and most characteristically Lucy sequences in the entire composite script. She becomes stuck in the rocking chair. The exact mechanics of the entrapment are left partly to the imagination and partly to Ball's legendary ability to make a human body appear simultaneously determined and helpless. The chair that was meant to provide a moment of calm recovery has become a trap. Lucy cannot rise. Vivian's attempts to extract her produce only greater complication. "Help me out of this," Lucy pleads. "Pull harder." Vivian pulls. The chair is priceless. The risk of damaging a historical artifact collides with the absolute necessity of freeing Lucy before the president appears. The struggle is undignified, prolonged, and irresistibly funny. Ball's body becomes a comic instrument of the highest order. The futile pushes, the awkward angles, the growing panic, the simultaneous awareness that the president is waiting and that she is physically incapable of meeting him in her present condition. The dialogue during the struggle is a model of economy and escalating desperation. "I can't pull any harder. I'll break it and it's priceless. I gotta get it off him. What are we gonna do? We can't keep the president waiting." The pronouns slip under the pressure of the moment off him when the chair is an it, revealing the degree to which the object has taken on an almost adversarial presence. Vivian's suggestion that she may have to make the presentation without Lucy is met with absolute refusal. "No, you don't. I'm not gonna miss out on meeting the president. The line is pure Lucy. The entire elaborate adventure, the original construction, the telephone call, the train crisis, the destruction of the model, the cross-country ride with Annabelle, the all-night bubblegum reconstruction has been undertaken so that the Cub Scouts, and by extension their den mothers, might stand in the presence of the president and offer their gift. Lucy will not be denied that presence by a piece of furniture, no matter how historically significant. The resolution of the chair crisis is handled with the swift, slightly miraculous efficiency that the series often grants its heroines when the final goal is in sight. Lucy is freed. The model is secured. The boys are arranged in a column of twos and instructed to behave like little gentlemen. The procession toward the presidential presence begins. Yet even in this last approach, the comedy does not entirely release its hold. Lucy's legs remain unreliable. The model remains fragile. The carefully rehearsed speech remains vulnerable to sudden blankness. The audience is allowed to feel the full weight of the accumulated effort resting on these final unsteady steps. When the meeting itself occurs, the script grants Lucy a moment of unexpected grace. The president, whether the actual president or a carefully managed comic representation, receives them with a warmth that validates every improbable step of the journey. The transcript's rendering of the encounter is fragmentary, yet the essential tone is clear. There is kindness. There is recognition of the effort that has brought the Sugar Cube White House into the room. There is even a small, gentle joke about the rocking chair, a joke that acknowledges Lucy's recent entanglement without humiliating her. The presentation is completed. The gift is accepted. The Cub Scouts have met the president. The long arc of the adventure reaches its formal conclusion. Yet the true emotional resolution of the sequence lies not in the presidential handshake, but in the quiet aftermath of survival. Lucy has delivered the gift. She has kept the promise. She has transformed a living room Cub Scout project into a presidential audience through sheer force of will, physical endurance, and an inexhaustible capacity for improvisation. The Sugar Cube White House, held together by bubblegum and determination, has fulfilled its destiny. The boys have had their moment of civic participation. And Lucy Carmichael, her dignity only slightly the worse for wear, has once again demonstrated that the distance between an ordinary suburban life and the most powerful residence in the nation can be crossed by anyone with enough sugar, enough nerve, and enough refusal to accept that some doors are simply too narrow. The sequence also offers a final gentle commentary on the nature of historical objects and ordinary bodies. The rocking chair that once belonged to Tad Lincoln becomes for a few chaotic minutes the instrument of Lucy's entrapment. The collision between the dignity of history and the undignified realities of a nervous den mother's body is the source of the comedy, yet it is never cruel. The chair is not mocked. Lucy is not diminished. Instead, the episode suggests that history itself is large enough to accommodate the comic physicality of ordinary people who approach it with sincerity. The same White House that has housed presidents and their children can also for one brief morning accommodate a sugar cube replica and the slightly rumpled den mothers who have brought it. In the larger architecture of the composite script, the presidential meeting serves as the formal close of the first major narrative movement. The Sugar Cube adventure, with all its escalating complications, reaches its appointed end. What follows the night school chemistry class, the eternal youth experiment, the chaperoning of teenagers at Sandy Cove, the Little League Wars will constitute new and separate adventures, yet the spirit that has carried Lucy through the train corridors, the rural fences, and the final struggle with the rocking chair will remain constant. It is the spirit of a woman who believes that the world is essentially responsive to determination and goodwill, and who is prepared to test that belief against every available obstacle. The meeting with the president is therefore both an ending and a confirmation. It confirms that Lucy's original impulse was not merely comic, but in its deepest impulse correct. Children who make something with their hands and offer it in sincerity deserve to be received. Den mothers who go to extraordinary lengths to protect that sincerity deserve, at least within the generous logic of the series, to succeed. And Lucille Ball, whose physical comedy has turned a rocking chair into a major dramatic obstacle and a presidential audience into a hard-won personal triumph, once again proves that the most enduring comedy is the comedy of absolute commitment to the moment, no matter how improbable the moment has become. The Sugar Cube White House has been presented. The Cub Scouts have had their day. Lucy Carmichael has survived the rocking chair, and somewhere in the quiet that follows the formalities one can imagine her allowing herself a single private smile of satisfaction before the next impossible project begins to take shape in her mind. The transition from the presidential reception to the fluorescent-lit classroom of Danfield High School's adult education program is one of the composite script's most abrupt and yet most characteristic shifts. One moment Lucy Carmichael is recovering from the dual ordeals of a sugar cube presentation and a historically significant rocking chair. The next she is seated in her living room with a night school catalog spread before her, declaring with absolute conviction that she and Vivian Bagley have fallen into an intellectual rut. The catalog becomes the instrument of a new ambition, and the ambition, as always with Lucy, expands almost immediately beyond the boundaries of ordinary adult self-improvement. What begins as a mild desire to keep the mind alert becomes a full enrollment in Introduction to Chemistry and Physics, a decision that will soon fill the screen with bubbling beakers, sensitive Bunsen burners, and the particular form of domestic scientific chaos that only Lucille Ball could make both plausible and hilarious. The opening conversation between Lucy and Vivian is a masterclass in the gentle satire of middle-class intellectual aspiration that runs throughout the Lucy show. Lucy announces that their idea of an intellectual evening consists of debating whether Marshall Dillon will ever marry Kitty on Gunsmoke. The reference is precise and period-perfect. In the early 1960s, Gunsmoke was not merely a popular program, it was a cultural institution, and the question of Dillon's romantic future was the sort of mild recurring speculation that filled countless living rooms. Lucy's dissatisfaction with this level of discourse is both comic and oddly touching. She insists that they were born with brains that were meant to be used, and when Vivian dryly observes that she was also born with an appendix and had that removed, the exchange captures the exact mixture of earnest self-improvement and skeptical common sense that defines their partnership. Lucy's determination prevails as it almost always does. The catalog is consulted. Conversational French and United States foreign policy in the Middle East are briefly considered and rejected. The decision settles on chemistry and physics. The choice is significant. Chemistry, with its visible reactions, its precise measurements, and its potential for sudden spectacular failure, is the perfect scientific discipline for a character whose comedy has always thrived on the gap between intention and result. Physics will come later. For now, the world of acids, bases, and Bunsen burners offers the immediate promise of laboratory adventure. The first evening of class is staged with the careful attention to social embarrassment and physical awkwardness that marks the series at its best. Lucy and Vivian arrive late. Lucy's explanation: her daughter Chris had a drum majorette rehearsal. A sitter had to be arranged for the boys, and the boys themselves required extensive persuasion, is delivered in a single, breathless paragraph that overflows the boundaries of ordinary classroom courtesy. Professor Adrian Vance, played with the patient authority of a man who has seen every possible variety of adult student, is forced to begin his opening remarks a second time. The repetition is already a small victory for Lucy's disruptive energy. The class has been made to accommodate her. The seating arrangement produces the next comic complication. Lucy immediately decides that she and Vivian must be laboratory partners. The gentleman currently occupying the adjacent seat is politely but firmly requested to move. The request is granted with the slightly bewildered courtesy that ordinary citizens often display when confronted by Lucy's absolute certainty that her preferences are reasonable. The rearrangement complete, Lucy settles in with the satisfaction of a woman who has once again imposed domestic logic upon an institutional setting. She and Vivian live in the same house, therefore they must be partners. The syllogism is unassailable within her private system of order. Professor Vance's introduction to the laboratory equipment is a model of clear patient instruction and therefore an irresistible target for Lucy's particular form of attentive inattention. The Bunsen burner is explained. The sensitivity of the gas control is emphasized. The students are instructed to light their burners with care. Lucy's attempt produces an immediate and characteristic mishap. The flame is too large, or the match is too close, or the handle is turned with the excessive enthusiasm that has always marked her approach to mechanical objects. The result is a small, contained burst of chaos that requires the professor's intervention and produces the first of the evening's many apologetic smiles. The safety shower demonstration that follows is pure sitcom gold. Professor Vance is required by the Board of Education to point out the emergency shower and to explain its purpose. He adds with the quiet pride of a man who has maintained a perfect safety record that in all his years of teaching the shower has never been used. The statement is, of course, a flag planted directly in the path of the comic storm. Lucy's curiosity is immediate and fatal. She wonders aloud whether the shower still works. A pull of the cord produces a sudden drenching confirmation that it does. The professor is soaked. The class is delighted. Lucy is once again the agent of an institutional demonstration that has exceeded its intended educational purpose. The physical comedy of the shower sequence is classic ball. The timing of the pull, the instantaneous cascade of water, the professor's stunned reaction, and Lucy's mixture of genuine surprise and residual satisfaction are all implied in the transcript's sparse but vivid rendering. One can imagine the precise physical choices, the tentative reach, the decisive yank, the backward step, the wide-eyed observation of the result that would have turned a simple prop demonstration into a memorable piece of visual humor. The shower has been tested. The safety equipment works. The lesson has been learned in the most literal and most Lucy-like manner possible. Beneath the physical comedy runs a quieter current of character exploration. Lucy's decision to enroll in night school is not merely a search for new comic situations. It is an expression of a genuine restlessness, a desire to remain mentally active in a life that has settled into the comfortable but limited routines of suburban motherhood and den mother responsibility. The same impulse that led her to telephone the White House now leads her to a chemistry classroom. In both cases, she is reaching beyond the expected boundaries of her role. In both cases, the reaching produces chaos. And in both cases, the chaos is inseparable from a fundamental optimism about the possibility of growth and participation. Vivian's role in the sequence is as always that of the loyal companion who follows with a mixture of support and clear-eyed skepticism. She has been persuaded to enroll, she has endured the late arrival and the public rearrangement of the seating chart. She has watched the Bunsen burner and the safety shower fulfill their comic destinies. Through it all, she remains present, engaged, and ready for whatever further scientific disasters her friend is about to set in motion. The partnership, tested by presidential appointments and cross-country horseback rides, now prepares itself for the particular hazards of the chemistry laboratory. The cultural context of adult education in the early 1960s adds a further layer of resonance. Night school classes were a common feature of middle-class self-improvement in the period away for adults whose formal education had ended years earlier to re-enter the world of structured learning. Chemistry and physics, with their associations of modernity and progress, carried a particular glamour. Lucy's choice of subject is therefore both personal and representative. She is not merely seeking entertainment. She is seeking a connection to the scientific spirit of an age that had placed men in orbit and was already looking toward the moon. That the connection will be made through a series of increasingly chaotic experiments is simply the price of admission to the Lucy Carmichael School of Higher Learning. By the end of the first class session, the essential elements of the new adventure are in place. The professor has been introduced and already slightly traumatized. The laboratory equipment has been explained and already misused. The partnership between Lucy and Vivian has been formally established in the seating chart. And Lucy's mind, never content with mere observation, has already begun to turn toward the possibility of an independent project. The secret of eternal youth has not yet been named, but the ground has been prepared. In the world of the Lucy Show, a woman who has successfully presented a sugar cube White House to the President of the United States is unlikely to remain a passive student for long. The beakers are waiting. The Bunsen burners are ready. And Lucy Carmichael, her curiosity fully engaged and her capacity for scientific disaster as yet untested, is about to discover that the laboratory can be just as responsive to her particular form of determination as the White House telephone once was. The night school catalog has done its work. The rut has been escaped. The new and more volatile adventure of chemistry has begun. The moment Lucy Carmichael announces her special project, the chemistry classroom of Danfield High ceases to be a place of orderly adult education and becomes the stage for one of the most sustained and inventive scientific farces in the history of the Lucy Show. Professor Adrian Vance has invited each student to select an independent investigation. The invitation is reasonable, even inspiring. In Lucy's hands, it becomes the starting gun for a campaign to discover the secret of eternal youth. The declaration is delivered with the same absolute conviction that once secured a presidential appointment for a sugar cube White House. "I'm going to see if I can find the secret of eternal youth," she tells Vivian, and when her friend suggests that she may have cracked her beaker, Lucy's reply is unanswerable within the private logic that has always governed her ambitions. Professor Vance himself said nothing was impossible. The choice of project is perfect in both comic and characterological terms. Eternal youth is the ultimate expression of Lucy's refusal to accept ordinary limitations. It is also a goal so vast, so fundamentally unattainable, that every step toward it is guaranteed to produce the gap between intention and result that is the series' richest source of humor. Vivian is recruited as laboratory assistant with the same mixture of loyalty and foreboding that has marked her participation in every previous Lucy scheme. She will take notes. She will measure. She will fetch reagents. She will in short share in the labor and the eventual chaos of an enterprise whose success is measured not in scientific validity, but in the intensity of its commitment. The early experimental sessions are a masterclass in the comedy of misplaced precision. Lucy dictates a formula C9H804 with the solemnity of a researcher on the verge of a breakthrough. The formula is, in reality, the chemical designation for aspirin, a fact that the episode never explicitly acknowledges, but that adds a quiet layer of irony for any viewer with a modest background in chemistry. Lucy debates whether to use 1 cubic centimeter or 2, and Vivian's practical suggestion that the quantity depends on how many people one intends to serve is met with the impatient correction of a scientist whose assistant has failed to grasp the gravity of the work. The exchange captures the exact dynamic that will govern the entire sequence. Lucy's absolute seriousness about an impossible goal set against Vivian's grounded attempts to introduce ordinary reason into a process that has already left ordinary reason behind. The laboratory itself becomes an active participant in the comedy. Beakers, graduated cylinders, glass tubing, and Bunsen burners are pressed into service with an enthusiasm that consistently exceeds their design specifications. Lucy's request for sodium bisulfate solution produces one of the sequence's most perfectly constructed visual jokes. Vivian brings the reagent in an open beaker. Lucy's rebuke, never bring it in an open beaker. What a dumb thing to do. That container has too big a mouth is delivered with the full authority of a woman who has only recently learned the names of the equipment she is misusing. The subsequent spill the panic over a deadly acid salt, and the professor's calm clarification that the substance is in fact a salt, and that the liquid is essentially water form. A classic 3-part structure of alarm escalation and deflation. Lucy's relief is genuine. Her dignity as always recovers with remarkable speed. The physical comedy of these sessions is continuous and inventive. Glass tubing is requested in quantities that quickly exhaust the laboratory's supply. Thermometers are eyed as potential sources of additional glass. Corks are inserted into tubes that were never meant to be sealed, creating the conditions for a pressure buildup that the audience anticipates long before the inevitable release. When the explosion finally occurs, it is both a scientific and a comic climax. Professor Vance is caught in the blast zone. His dazed repetition of his own earlier advice, "Keep an open mind," becomes a mantra of survival, a phrase that has been stripped of its original pedagogical meaning and reduced to the only coherent response left to a man whose classroom has been transformed into a hazard zone by a single determined student. Vivian's growing exasperation provides the necessary human counterweight to Lucy's scientific monomania. In a quiet conference with the professor, she confesses that, since Lucy became a mad genius, she has become impossible to live with. The complaint is delivered without malice. It is simply the report of a woman who has endured late-night formula revisions, the commandeering of household spaces for experimental purposes, and the particular intensity that Lucy brings to any project that has captured her imagination. Professor Vance's response is a model of professional tolerance and private alarm. He believes a laboratory is a place where one finds things out for oneself. He is also beginning to understand that Lucy's method of finding things out may leave the laboratory itself in need of extensive repairs. The sequence in which Lucy attempts to salvage what remains of her experiment after the explosion is pure character comedy. She emerges from the wreckage with a small quantity of the formula still intact and declares that it is a great day for mankind. The declaration is absurd, yet it is delivered with the full conviction of a researcher who has refused to accept that a laboratory disaster constitutes failure. In Lucy's private scientific method, disaster is simply data. The formula still exists. The work can continue. The secret of eternal youth remains within reach. Throughout these scenes, Lucille Ball's performance, implied in every line of dialogue and every stage direction, demonstrates the particular genius that made her the supreme physical comedienne of her era. The handling of beakers, the careful measuring of imaginary quantities, the sudden panic over spills, the dazed recovery from explosions, the absolute seriousness with which she treats the most preposterous scientific claims. All of these elements are executed with a commitment so complete that the audience never questions the reality of her belief. Lucy does not play at being a scientist. For the duration of the experiment, she is a scientist, and the world of the laboratory must rearrange itself around that fact. The cultural context of the early 1960s adds resonance to the Eternal Youth Project. The period was marked by an extraordinary faith in the power of science to solve human problems from polio to space travel. Lucy's belief that a night school chemistry class might yield the secret of perpetual youth is a comic exaggeration of that faith. Yet it is not an entirely unfounded one. The same culture that placed men in orbit could, in the optimistic logic of the sitcom, also be expected to yield more personal miracles. That the miracle in question is pursued through a series of increasingly chaotic laboratory procedures is simply the price of translating national scientific ambition into the domestic scale of Danfield High. By the time the sequence reaches its temporary conclusion, the laboratory has been thoroughly tested, the professor has been thoroughly traumatized, and Lucy's formula, though diminished by explosion, still exists in sufficient quantity to invite the next and most personal stage of the experiment. The secret of eternal youth has not yet been tested on a human subject. That test is coming. And when it arrives, it will transform the comedy of scientific mishap into the comedy of personal transformation, complete with makeup wigs and the unforgettable discovery that some formulas produce results no researcher could have predicted. The beakers have bubbled. The corks have failed. The open mind has been repeatedly recommended and repeatedly endangered. Lucy Carmichael's career as a research chemist is not yet over. In the world of The Lucy Show, it has only just begun to reach its most dangerous and most hilarious phase. The decision to test the eternal youth formula on its own creator is the moment at which the chemistry adventure of The Lucy Show achieves its purest and most characteristic form of comic logic. Professor Vance and Vivian Bagley, having endured explosions, spills, depleted supplies of glass tubing, and the particular intensity of Lucy Carmichael in the grip of a scientific obsession, arrive at a solution that is both practical and quietly vengeful. The formula, according to Lucy's own notes, is nothing more than a mild sedative. If she can be persuaded to drink it, she will sleep. While she sleeps, the tools of the drama department, putty wigs, makeup, can be employed to produce a transformation so complete that the waking Lucy will believe her experiment has succeeded in the most literal and most horrifying way. The plan is elegant, economical, and perfectly suited to the moral balance of the series. Lucy's disruption of the laboratory will be answered not with scolding, but with a practical demonstration of consequences delivered in the language of physical comedy. She herself has always spoken most fluently. The persuasion scene is a small masterpiece of escalating pressure. Lucy is first invited to consider a human subject rather than a monkey. Her reasonable suggestion that animal testing should precede human trials is met with the unanswerable assertion that the world does not need younger monkeys. When the conversation turns to the possibility of a student volunteer, the professor's gaze settles on Lucy herself with the inevitable force of comic destiny. What better person to check out this marvelous formula than its creator? The appeal to scientific faith is decisive. A true researcher must believe in her own work. Lucy, who has never lacked belief in any of her projects, finds herself cornered by her own previous declarations. She drinks. The formula, she reports with mild surprise, is very tasty. Then she sleeps. The transformation that follows is conducted with the quiet efficiency of a well-planned practical joke and the visual inventiveness that has always marked the series' best physical sequences. Putty is applied to the nose. A wig of an unflattering color and style is secured. Makeup is used to alter the contours of the face until the sleeping Lucy is no longer recognizable as the woman who entered the laboratory. The work is not cruel. It is corrective. Vivian and the professor are not seeking to humiliate. They are seeking to interrupt a pattern of behavior that has made the laboratory unsafe and domestic life untenable. The sleeping Lucy becomes a canvas upon which the consequences of unchecked scientific enthusiasm are painted in the broad, unmistakable strokes of sitcom caricature. The waking is handled with the precise control of tone that distinguishes the episode. Lucy's first sensations are interpreted through the filter of her own hopes. Her face feels strange. The texture of her hair seems altered. When she discovers that the hair is brown, the color it was when she was 16, she accepts the evidence as proof of success. "That proves I'm younger," she declares. "I haven't had brown hair since I was 16. The logic is impeccable within the closed system of her expectations. The formula was intended to produce youth. The visible change is therefore youth. She moves toward the mirror with the eager anticipation of a woman about to confirm a miracle. The confrontation with the mirror is one of the great delayed revelation sequences in the series. The audience has already seen the transformation. Lucy has not. The distance between her expectation and the image that greets her is the entire engine of the comedy. The transcript captures the moment in a series of wordless exclamations oh, that convey more effectively than any articulate speech the collapse of an entire structure of belief. The woman who left the laboratory table expecting to meet a younger self has instead encountered a face that belongs in a nightmare or a Halloween parade. The formula has not produced eternal youth. It has produced in Lucy's own later formulation, instant ugly. The return to Vivian and the professor is marked by a devastation that is both comic and oddly touching. Lucy's first accusation is directed at her friend. Why was she not warned? Vivian's reply that they had not wanted to hurt her feelings is delivered with the gentle hypocrisy of a practical joke that has achieved its intended effect and now requires a soft landing. The full explanation follows. The nose is putty. The hair is a wig. The entire transformation was performed while she slept. The formula itself was never more than a mild sedative. The secret of eternal youth remains undiscovered. The laboratory, however, has been granted a temporary reprieve from further experimental ambition. Lucy's recovery is characteristically swift and complete. The moment of genuine distress is real, yet it does not linger. Almost at once, she is able to name the experience with the same inventive precision she once brought to the naming of her scientific goals. Instant ugly, she declares, and the phrase is both a verdict on the formula and a small comic triumph of its own. She has been the victim of a practical joke, yet she retains the power to define the joke in language that claims it for her own comic repertoire. The dignity that seemed lost in the mirror is restored through the simple act of naming. The final exchange of the sequence returns the partnership to its essential balance. Vivian acknowledges that Lucy's enthusiasm, though disruptive, was admirable. Lucy concedes that she may have become carried away. The professor suggests, with the careful diplomacy of a man who has survived an explosion and a makeup prank, that chemistry may not be Lucy's strongest subject. The observation is accepted without resentment. In a few weeks, the class will move on to physics. Lucy's response is immediate and radiant with new possibility. Physics, especially nuclear physics, is exactly the field for which she has always felt a secret vocation. Just give me a slide rule, a handful of uranium, and point me to the moon. The declaration is absurd, delightful, and entirely in character. The Eternal Youth Project has ended in instant ugly. The next impossible ambition is already taking shape. The sequence as a whole is a perfect illustration of the moral and comic architecture that sustains the Lucy show. Lucy's ambition is never punished with lasting humiliation. It is allowed to run its full course, to produce chaos, to reach a crisis, and then to be gently redirected through the intervention of the very people who have endured the chaos. The makeup prank is not an act of cruelty. It is an act of restoration, a way of returning the laboratory to a condition of relative safety and Lucy herself to a condition of relative self-awareness. That the restoration is achieved through the tools of theatrical illusion only deepens the comedy. The same woman who once transformed sugar cubes into the White House has now been transformed temporarily into a figure of deliberate unattractiveness, and the transformation has been accomplished with the same commitment to thoroughness that marks all of her own projects. Lucille Ball's performance in these scenes, implied by every reaction, every wordless exclamation, every shift from hope to horror to recovery, demonstrates once again the extraordinary range of her physical and emotional comedy. The eager approach to the mirror, the frozen confrontation with the altered face, the slow return to the others, the gradual reassembly of dignity through the act of naming, all of these moments require a precision of timing and a depth of commitment that few performers have ever matched. The audience is invited to laugh at the situation, yet it is never invited to laugh at Lucy herself. Her belief in the formula, her distress at the reflection, and her rapid recovery of equilibrium are all treated with the affectionate respect that the series always grants its central character. By the end of the sequence, the chemistry laboratory has been restored to a fragile peace. The eternal youth formula has been permanently retired, and Lucy Carmichael has already begun to look forward to the next scientific frontier. Instant Ugly has done its work. The mad scientist has been gently returned to the status of enthusiastic student. And somewhere in the quiet that follows the removal of the putty nose and the brown wig, one can imagine Lucy already considering the comic possibilities of a slide rule, a handful of uranium, and the long journey to the moon. The transition from the chemistry laboratory to the sunlit, hormonally charged world of a teenage beach vacation is one of the composite script's most abrupt and most revealing shifts in tone and scale. One moment Lucy Carmichael is recovering from the dual ordeals of Instant Ugly and the permanent retirement of her eternal youth formula. The next, She is standing amid an avalanche of capri pants, sweatshirts, and bathing suits, contemplating the logistics of chaperoning her daughter Chris and a group of high school girls for an entire week at Sandy Cove. The decision is presented as a casual act of maternal goodwill. In the world of the Lucy Show, of course, no act of maternal goodwill remains casual for long. What begins as a simple agreement to supervise a beach trip rapidly expands into a full-scale attempt to infiltrate teenage culture, complete with slang lessons, limbo contests, and the inevitable physical comedy that follows, when two middle-aged women try to pass themselves off as members of the younger generation. The preliminary negotiations are a masterclass in the gentle domestic diplomacy that has always marked the partnership between Lucy and Vivian. Chris's original plan is threatened by Principal Westcott's refusal to allow his daughter Debbie to attend. Without Debbie, the other parents will withdraw their daughters and the entire trip will collapse. Lucy's solution is characteristically inventive. She telephones the principal, reminds him of her identity as the pineapple upside-down cake at the last PTA sale, and calmly invents a second chaperone, a lovely older person who is practically a nanny. The second chaperone is, of course, Vivian. The fabrication is delivered with such sincerity that Westcott relents. Debbie may go. The trip is saved. And Vivian, who has just been described to a school principal as a professional nanny, is left to contemplate the particular form of loyalty that friendship with Lucy Carmichael requires. Vivian's initial resistance is both reasonable and doomed. She has no desire to spend a week in the company of teenagers. She is in her own precise formulation too old to be a teenager and too young to die. Yet Lucy's persuasive powers, reinforced by the practical observation that Jerry and Sherman will be away, visiting relatives, eventually prevail. Vivian will come. She will serve as the second chaperone. She will, in the process, become an unwilling participant in one of the series' most sustained explorations of the gap between adult dignity and teenage fashion. The arrival at Sandy Cove establishes the essential comic geography of the episode. The girls are ecstatic. There are boys in the cottage next door, more boys across the road, and a general atmosphere of unsupervised possibility that fills the air like the scent of salt water and suntan lotion. The absence of a telephone is treated as a near tragedy. The discovery that the chaperones intend to enforce something resembling a bedtime is treated as an outright declaration of war. The girls' private language, Tu Dodo Gucky Yaksus, is translated by Lucy with the help of intelligence previously supplied by little Jerry as two old fogies. The translation is accurate and it stings. Lucy and Vivian are perceived not as benevolent supervisors, but as obstacles to the proper enjoyment of a beach vacation. The response to this perception is pure Lucy Carmichael. If the girls regard them as old fogies, then the solution is not to lean into the role of stern chaperone, but to eliminate the distance entirely. They will become teenagers themselves. They will learn the language. They will master the dances. They will, in short, infiltrate the very culture they have been asked to supervise. The decision is both strategic and deeply characteristic. Lucy has never been content to observe a social world from the outside. Whether the world in question is the White House, or a chemistry laboratory, or a group of high school girls at the beach, her impulse is always the same: to enter it completely, to master its codes, and to participate with an enthusiasm that frequently exceeds the enthusiasm of the native inhabitants. The slang lesson that follows is one of the episode's most purely verbal comic sequences. Lucy undertakes to teach Vivian the essential vocabulary of the teenage tribe. Choice, groovy, and tough all mean good. Creepy, scuzzy, grumpy, drippy, raunchy, and flaky all mean bad. Diddly, diddly, diddly means and so forth. To leave a place is to split. To enjoy oneself is to have a blast. The lesson is conducted with the solemn intensity of a wartime code briefing. Vivian's attempts to absorb the material produce a series of increasingly bewildered repetitions, culminating in the decision that if she ever becomes stuck, she will simply say diddly, diddly, diddly and hope for the best. The sequence is a perfect illustration of the series' ability to generate sustained comedy from the collision of two linguistic systems. The adult women are not mocking the teenage language. They are attempting with complete seriousness to colonize it. The first night at the cottage provides the physical comedy that balances the verbal play of the slang lesson. A mosquito, or what Lucy insists is a mosquito, invades the room. The subsequent struggle with mosquito netting produces one of the episode's most visually inventive images: two women draped and tangled in netting, until Vivian resembles in Lucy's precise description an old beekeeper. The netting is finally arranged. Sleep seems possible. Then the mosquito reveals itself to be something larger. The scream that follows, There was a bear. There was a bear is pure ball. A sudden eruption of physical panic that transforms a minor nocturnal disturbance into a full-scale emergency. The girls the next morning will report that the chaperone spent 2 hours in the closet. The bat, they conclude, has replaced the dog as man's best friend. The following day's attempt to join the teenage world is the sequence's comic climax. Lucy and Vivian appear among the young people armed with their newly acquired vocabulary and an alarming willingness to participate. It's tough. It's groovy. Diddly, diddly, diddly. The slang is deployed with the slightly off-rhythm enthusiasm of tourists who have memorized a phrasebook. The young people are first confused, then alarmed. The lead weirdo, as one of the boys describes Lucy, is revealed to be Chris's mother. The discovery does not improve the atmosphere. The limbo contest that follows is pure physical farce. Lucy, determined to demonstrate her credentials as a member of the tribe, insists on participating. Vivian's protest. "If you think I'm going to do that, you are out to lunch," is overridden. The bar is lowered. Lucy's attempt to pass beneath it produces the inevitable result, a pair of pants that cannot withstand the strain. "Why do you want to split?" Vivian asks using the newly learned slang. "Because my pants just did," Lucy replies. And the collision of literal and figurative meanings is the perfect button on the sequence. The infiltration has succeeded only in exposing the physical and cultural distance it was meant to erase. Throughout these scenes, the underlying affection of the series for its characters remains constant. Lucy's attempt to become a teenager is not presented as a failure of dignity, but as an excess of goodwill. She wants to supervise the girls without being resented. She wants to close the generational gap by simply leaping across it. The leap is unsuccessful, yet the impulse behind it is never mocked. Vivian's reluctant participation, her growing bewilderment, and her eventual weary acceptance of the chaos are treated with the same affectionate respect. The teenage girls themselves are not villains. They are simply young people who wish to enjoy a beach vacation without the complication of chaperones who insist on learning the mashed potato and the limbo. The cultural texture of the early 1960s is present in every detail. The slang, the dances, the cottages, the casual mixing of boys and girls under the loose supervision of adults. All of these elements evoke a moment in American youth culture that was still relatively innocent by later standards, yet already distinct enough from adult norms to generate comedy from the attempt to cross the boundary. Lucy and Vivian's struggle to master the codes of that culture is both a specific comic situation and a broader reflection on the perennial difficulty of generational translation. By the end of the sequence, the attempt to infiltrate teenage life has produced a split pair of pants, a certain amount of residual embarrassment, and a growing recognition that the role of chaperone cannot be successfully performed by pretending to be one of the supervised. The recognition will lead in the following movement of the episode to a temporary restoration of adult dignity and a party that attempts to reconcile the two generations on more honest terms. For the moment, however, the experiment in teenage identity has reached its natural and pants-splitting conclusion. Lucy Carmichael has once again demonstrated that no social world is safe from her determination to belong to it completely. The beach, the slang, and the limbo bar have all been tested. The results, as always, have been spectacular. The decision to abandon the experiment in teenage identity and return to the more traditional role of chaperone is presented as a moment of hard-won adult wisdom. Lucy Carmichael, her dignity only slightly repaired after the limbo-induced pants catastrophe, acknowledges that the girls do not want their mothers and aunts attempting to pass as members of the peer group. The proper course, she concludes, is to supervise from a respectful distance, to remain available, but not intrusive, and to demonstrate that chaperones need not be either old fogies or failed teenagers. The practical expression of this new philosophy is a party, an open, well-lighted, carefully monitored gathering, to which the neighboring boys will be invited and at which Lucy and Vivian will remain discreetly in the background. The plan is reasonable, mature, and entirely consistent with the responsibilities they have accepted. In the world of the Lucy Show, of course, reasonable plans are simply the starting points for new and more elaborate forms of chaos. The party itself begins with every appearance of success. The young people are present. Music is playing. The atmosphere is lively without being disorderly. Lucy and Vivian have retreated to the proper chaperone distance content to observe rather than participate. For a brief luminous interval, it seems possible that the beach vacation will conclude without further incident. Then Principal Westcott arrives. The entrance of the principal is the episode's decisive turning point. Westcott has not come to socialize. He has come, one suspects, to verify that the dual chaperone arrangement he reluctantly approved is being honored in spirit as well as in letter. What he finds is a room full of teenagers, music, movement, and the unmistakable energy of a gathering that has escaped the most rigid definitions of adult supervision. His conclusion is immediate and absolute: this is a wild party. The subsequent escalation of the accusation from wild party to rumble is a perfect illustration of the principal's particular form of institutional panic. In his mind, the presence of boys and girls in the same cottage after dark, combined with music and raised voices, can mean only one thing. The carefully constructed permission he granted has been betrayed. Lucy's defense is instantaneous and characteristically inventive. This isn't a wild party. We were chasing a bat. The explanation is offered with the full sincerity of a woman who has already survived one nocturnal bat encounter and is prepared to press the animal into service as an alibi. Westcott is unconvinced. His wife Elizabeth is instructed to wait in the car. Debbie is ordered to pack her things. The girls' club is placed under suspension until further notice. The entire carefully negotiated structure of the beach trip begins to collapse under the weight of a single adult's refusal to accept an improbable, but within the logic of the episode, entirely truthful explanation. The reappearance of the bat is the sequence's masterstroke of comic timing. Just as Westcott's authority seems absolute and Lucy's position seems hopeless, the animal that has already caused one night of closet-bound terror makes a second and more public entrance. It is in the car. Or it is reported to be in the car. Or it becomes, through the escalating confusion of the moment, the central fact around which the entire confrontation must reorganize itself. The precise choreography of the bat's second act is left partly to the imagination, and partly to the transcript's breathless rendering of overlapping voices and sudden movements. What matters is the effect the principal's dignified fury is interrupted by an element of pure, uncontrollable nature that no amount of administrative authority can immediately command. The physical comedy that follows is classic ball. There are sudden movements, conflicting instructions, the collision of adult dignity with the unpredictable flight path of a small winged mammal, and the gradual transformation of a disciplinary confrontation into a shared emergency. Lucy's claim that she was aiming at the bat and not at any human target is delivered with the desperate precision of a woman who understands that the difference between the two may determine the future of the girls' club. Vivian's attempts to maintain order. Vivian, control yourself. That's somebody's little boy. Add a further layer of domestic concern to the institutional crisis. The scene becomes a perfect storm of mismatched agendas. The principal's determination to enforce discipline, Lucy's determination to protect the trip and the girls, the bat's determination to follow its own flight path, and the young people's determination to survive the evening without permanent damage to their social lives. The resolution is achieved not through reasoned argument, but through the sheer accumulation of comic complication. The bat, the accusations, the threatened suspensions, and the physical chaos eventually reach a point of saturation beyond which further escalation is impossible. Westcott's authority, though not formally revoked, is rendered temporarily irrelevant by the more immediate problem of the animal in or near his car. Lucy's explanation, though never fully accepted, is granted a kind of de facto validity by the simple fact that a bat has indeed made itself part of the evening's events. The girls are not sent home in disgrace. The club is not permanently abolished. The beach trip, though thoroughly compromised as an exercise in adult supervision, survives. Beneath the physical farce runs a quieter current of social observation. Principal Westcott represents a particular form of institutional anxiety common to the early 1960s. The fear that any gathering of teenagers not under continuous and visible adult control is a potential site of moral disorder. Lucy represents the opposing and equally period-specific faith that goodwill, flexibility, and a certain amount of improvisational courage can bridge the gap between generations without the need for rigid enforcement. The bat in this reading becomes the perfect comic mediator, an element of pure contingency that forces both positions to yield at least temporarily to the more immediate demands of the physical world. The sequence also completes the emotional arc of the chaperone experiment. Lucy's earlier attempt to become a teenager has failed. Her subsequent attempt to perform the role of traditional chaperone has been interrupted by the very authority figure whose approval made the trip possible. What remains is the recognition that the position of adult supervisor is inherently unstable, subject to misinterpretation from above and resistance from below, and permanently vulnerable to the intrusion of bats, boys, and the unpredictable energies of the young. The recognition is not bitter. It is simply the final data point in an experiment that has tested every available approach to the problem of generational supervision and found each of them comically inadequate. By the end of the sequence, the party has been thoroughly disrupted, the principal has been thoroughly unsettled, and the bat has fulfilled its second and more public destiny. Lucy Carmichael has once again demonstrated that no carefully arranged social situation is safe from the intervention of the unexpected. The beach vacation will continue, though, under a cloud of residual administrative suspicion. The girls will retain their freedom, though at the cost of having witnessed their chaperones in yet another undignified confrontation with the natural world. And somewhere in the quiet that follows the departure of the Westcotts and the final exit of the bat, one can imagine Lucy allowing herself a moment of weary satisfaction. The trip has not been a success in any conventional sense. It has, however, been thoroughly and unmistakably a Lucy Carmichael production. The final movement of the composite script returns Lucy Carmichael and Vivian Bagley to the most elemental and most American of suburban battlegrounds, the Little League field. After the presidential sugar cube odyssey, the chemical pursuit of eternal youth, and the generational experiments of Sandy Cove, the series settles into a comedy of pure maternal ferocity. The boys are playing baseball, the mothers are watching, and the distance between the bleachers and the diamond proves once again far too short to contain Lucy's particular form of protective enthusiasm. What follows is one of the most sustained and most physically inventive explorations of parental overinvestment in the entire run of The Lucy Show. A sequence that transforms the gentle pastime of children's baseball into a full-scale comic war between the rules of the game and the their ungovernable emotions of the adults who love the players. The early practice game scenes establish the essential dynamic with classical clarity. The Tigers are behind by an improbable number of runs. The mothers in the stands, Lucy, Vivian, and their equally invested companions, respond to every pitch, every swing, and every call with a volume and intensity that would not be out of place in a professional pennant race. He was safe by a mile. That was a ball by a mile. I'd like to see their pitcher's birth certificate. If that boy's only 12, I'm sweet 16. The dialogue is a continuous eruption of partisan certainty. The umpire, identified as Dr. Jacoby, becomes the immediate focus of collective maternal rage. His eyesight, his judgment, and even his professional qualifications as a physician are called into public question. The comedy arises not from any genuine injustice in the officiating, but from the absolute refusal of the mothers to accept that their sons might simply be outmatched on the field. Lucy's particular contribution to the chaos is the gradual, then sudden violation of the sacred boundary between stands and diamond. The rule is clear, and repeatedly stated: no mothers on the field. Lucy treats the rule as a suggestion. When a call goes against Jerry or Sherman, she is on the grass before the protest has fully left her lips. The manager, Mr. Crescent, a hardware store owner who accepted the position only because he could think of no adequate excuse, is forced into the role of reluctant enforcer. His repeated attempts to restore order. Ladies, we have a rule in the Little League: no mothers allowed on the field, are met with accusations of syndicate influence and demands for his resignation. The escalation is both ridiculous and strangely noble. Lucy is not seeking personal attention. She is seeking justice for her son, and justice in her private jurisprudence requires her physical presence at the point of controversy. The subplot of Jerry's demotion to the B team provides the emotional core that keeps the farce from floating free of all human consequence. After a single strikeout, the manager decides that the boys' hitting is not yet ready for the A team. Lucy's confrontation with Crescent is a perfect miniature of the entire maternal comedy. She challenges his authority, questions his qualifications, and finally extracts a reluctant promise that Jerry will start in the opening game. The victory is temporary and Pyrrhic. It commits her to an intensive home coaching regimen that will test the limits of both her pedagogical skill and Jerry's physical endurance. The home coaching sequences are pure domestic physical comedy. Lucy produces rubber balls for grip. Strengthening demonstrates the proper batting stance with an enthusiasm that borders on the martial and introduces a three-part mental formula: scrooch, snarl, and swing, designed to intimidate opposing pitchers. Jerry's sincere attempts to follow the instructions produce the inevitable result. He squeezes the rubber balls so thoroughly that his fingers are temporarily exhausted and unable to hold a bat. Sherman, meanwhile, is subjected to repeated arm massages that threaten to eliminate the arm entirely. The night before the big game finds both mothers in a state of advanced athletic anxiety, unable to sleep, unable to think of anything but innings, and counts reduced to the desperate measure of eating fruit in an attempt to distract themselves from the coming ordeal. The game itself is the sequence's sustained comic climax. Lucy and Vivian are ejected, reappear, are ejected again, and finally attempt to return in disguise, Lucy carrying a lady's purse that immediately betrays her identity. Men don't usually come to baseball games carrying a lady's purse, the manager observes, and the line is the perfect deflation of the entire elaborate infiltration. Yet even this final humiliation is temporary. Jerry, against all probability and against the accumulated weight of maternal interference, connects for a home run. Sherman pitches effectively. The Tigers achieve a form of victory that is less about the score than about the survival of the children's dignity under the full assault of parental love. The final images of the sequence are among the most purely satisfying in the composite script. Lucy, still slightly breathless from her latest ejection, receives the congratulations of the crowd for her son's home run. Vivian claims parallel credit for the winning pitcher. The two women, who have spent the afternoon in continuous violation of every rule designed to keep parents at a safe distance from the field, stand together in the glow of reflected athletic glory. The chaos has not been resolved by any conversion to proper spectator behavior. It has simply been transcended by the success of the boys. In the moral universe of The Lucy Show, that transcendence is sufficient. Throughout the Little League material, the series offers a gentle and ultimately affectionate satire of a particular strain of American parental intensity. The early 1960s saw the rapid expansion of organized children's sports and the corresponding rise of the parent who experienced every play as a personal referendum on family honor. Lucy and Vivian are extreme examples of the type, yet they are never cruelly mocked. Their excesses are the excesses of love. Their invasions of the field are the physical expression of an inability to remain passive while their children face judgment. The umpire and the manager are not villains. They are simply the necessary representatives of a structure that must, for the sake of the game itself, resist the full force of maternal advocacy. Lucille Ball's performance in these scenes, implied by every charge onto the grass, every furious confrontation with authority, every exhausted late-night coaching session, demonstrates once again the extraordinary range of her physical and emotional comedy. She is at once the most ridiculous figure on the field and the most emotionally transparent. The audience laughs at the violations of the rules, yet it never doubts the authenticity of the feeling that produces the violations. That double vision is the essence of her art, and the reason the Little League sequences remain as fresh and as funny today as they were when first broadcast. The composite script as a whole, moving from sugar cube diplomacy through chemical ambition and generational experimentation to the final dusty triumphs of the baseball diamond, offers a comprehensive portrait of Lucy Carmichael as a force of nature permanently at odds with every structure, designed to contain her. Whether the structure is a presidential protocol, a laboratory safety regulation, a teenage social code, or a Little League rulebook, the result is the same. The structure bends, the chaos blooms, and somewhere in the aftermath a form of hard-won, slightly battered success is achieved. The boys meet the president. The formula produces instant ugly and is retired. The beach trip survives its principle. The Tigers, against all odds and all maternal interference, find a way to win. In the end, the enduring appeal of these episodes lies not in any single comic invention, but in the cumulative portrait of a woman who refuses to accept that the world is finished with her, or she with it. Lucy Carmichael will telephone the White House. She will ride a jumping horse across the countryside for sugar cubes. She will chew bubble gum into architectural mortar. She will drink her own formula and survive instant ugly. She will limbo until her pants split. She will charge onto a baseball field as many times as the umpires will eject her. And through every disaster and every improbable recovery, she will remain unmistakably and gloriously herself. The final image of the composite script is therefore not a resolution in the conventional sense. It is a continuation. Jerry has hit his home run. Sherman has pitched his game. Lucy and Vivian have claimed their share of the credit. And somewhere beyond the final frame, one can already sense the next impossible project beginning to take shape in Lucy's mind. The world of The Lucy Show is inexhaustible because Lucy Carmichael is inexhaustible. The sugar cubes, the beakers, the limbo bars, and the baseball diamonds are simply the temporary stages upon which that inexhaustible energy performs its endless, affectionate, and eternally comic work.